moment on this conference that I went for in Nairobi, when the South African Minister of Transport stood up in the gathering where there are political parties from all over the world, and he said to me, he said, I want to applaud Liberia because your election was so tight, hotly contested, and President Bouazizi only defeated President Weah less than 30,000 votes. And yet, President Weah conceded. He said, you people should continue that democracy. I was proud. I'm going to say anyway, therefore, President Weah to concede and keep our democracy on the path it is something, of course, I'm proud of, and I'm happy he did that. I will praise him any day for that, because not many Africans can do that. Look, let's stop all these political noise. When people do something good, praise them. He could have stayed in power like other people.
So as I was
yes,
saying,
he could have done that.
Now you have
when President
certain government officials abusing their powers by raping minors. When we were actively involved in activism, especially against sexual and gender-based violence, we demanded that we are led administration to declare rape as a national emergency, and which was done. But here we are under this regime. We have seen abuse of power. Not just that, we've seen people in top of offices shielding government officials from being arrested and from facing justice. Like the case of Brian McGill, this is not typical. As I'm sitting right here, my brother is accused of rape. Is currently at the Morovia Central Prison. What happened? We've seen this girl, the particular girl that accused my brother of rape, has come clean and said that my brother never raped her. It was her mother who forced her to lie on my brother. We've been behind this government to accuse my, to like relieve him of that particular accusations, but we are nowhere, and they are even asking us to pay money to the government. So if we see these things happening before our eyes, it burns us, and because we are female, we are women, we cannot see it to watch these things happening. But again, this is what we have under the Baka-led government. When power or rule of law is no longer an ethics, when rule of law is abused, when rule of law has been sabotaged. So what I can say is it hurts my heart, because not just because I'm a female, but also I'm a mother. Coming up, we were, there are a lot of things that we were introduced to when we were coming up. And some of us, we cannot say we were abused, but some of our friends that we grew up with, as are victims of sexual abuse, of rape. And today, they have not even like healed from the rape or the stigmatization. And today you have people in government raping young women, babies. That is so much, so much disgusting. And what is disgusting? What is disgusting is to see Gogre come on backing a rapist. That is the most disgusting and disheartening thing I've ever seen in my life. Maybe one can say that Gogre Come and Bryant are involved into sodomizing young men, because it is alleged that Gogre Come is a rape, is a gay. So it is clear that Brian knows something about Gogre, Gogre now it is his turn to back Brian.
Thank you so much, distinguished colleagues. Because we have other topics to touch, we just use the next at least maybe 30 seconds or so. 30 seconds to just kind of like round this whole rape issue up. I have a report here, and this report is really damaging to the extent where in Lofa County, about 500 girls, kids who should be going to school. We are looking at the video where these children are now.
That
affect our society, our population?
Yeah. Let me take the lead on that because
yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, let me take the lead on that because I used to work with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, so I know what were some of the things that we did as it relates to why it is true that we respect our customary and traditional way of living, our people, tradition and culture. All of us, we've got our cultural background that we come from, depending on which part of the country that we come from. So during the George Weah-led administration, what the president told us to do was that whenever now we just have school reopen, that this academic year has just started, we ensure at the time during the last 6 years that whenever schools are open, there should be no poro or Sunday school open. Girls being subjected to the bush school in the Liberian parlance, to be subjected to the bush school while their friends are going to school is troublesome and it's worrisome, and it tells you about heartlessness and clueless government that we are now having now. They are the ones who portray themselves to be the most excited, the most educated, yet they cannot come up with policy to stop these poor
Thank you.
school operating while schools are open.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Ba. We'll go to Pastor Sources A.B. Dennis, come to our brother Wilmot, and then to our sister, and move on to Honorable Dubayu. You're listening to this. This is scary. This is terrible. Like Minister Ba rightly put it, during the operations of school hours, the government said, we are not going to, we are encouraging, let's put it this way, we are encouraging people to ensure that, our children have quality education, that they are prepared, close the bush school. And then when the schools are closed, the children can go to the bush school. But now we are seeing that while our children are going to school, bush school,
against the Weah-led administration.
Role model, let's just know that about you. Then before now, you can transition into that. And I found they said, do you really just want to be a journalist or want to be a lawyer? Because I see something like that in the background, though you not talk about that.
As I said, I'm motivated. And also,
is the something better than the rest of the audience?
I'm actually into investigative journalism, and I love to go beyond the surface story. I love to dig, and maybe one may say I have an attribute of a lawyer, and maybe in the long run I might want to catch up with that fee of study. But for now, I'm doing public sector administration at Cottington University.
Okay. So to the topic of young girls, school-going children, who should be in school, they've been forced, they've been conscripted into marriage, they've been forced to marry. I think that was the point Prince was talking about. So
yes.
You can talk about that, yeah.
Yeah, I understood the question, and I was just coming into that. For me, when years back, these people throwing the traditional leaders, the traditional women against the Weah-led administration by portraying an image like we were against the traditional practices of our country. Let us set this record straight. We are not against these practices, but also there should be policies, there should be priorities set aside by the government to ensure that these traditional practices align with, the globalized, sector, as because the world has advanced. We cannot keep reducing or declining ourselves, or subjecting ourselves to something that the world has gone far. longer see the realities. They can no longer acknowledge bad from right. So it means that they just wanted to come, or in the society. They just wanted to come to power and continue what they said were not right yesterday, because they claim that they are the most quote unquote educated group of people. But today, everything they campaign against are now no more last in Liberia. So our girls need to, to acquire significant education in this country. Because there's a saying that says, when you educate a girl, you educate an entire nation. So what are we doing to safeguard the image of our young women? It's not by some traditional, or practices. Yes, we can blend these things. We are taught from home. We are normally taught to be homekeepers. But we should prioritize education. We should
millions of dollars on the library, taxes. So this is tell you in conclusion on this issue of corruption. We as Liberians, we were fooled. Not me, not Randall, not any member of this platform, but the Liberian people in generality, the fool that Baka said he was not a corrupt man, that he was coming to stop stealing. But what he did, or what he is doing now, is to lead by example by telling people that you normally play that clip. If you steal money, make sure that you get some to the Liberian people. That is okay. That's all you want. As an official, steal money, take some and give back to the community. If you steal 10 million, take 30,000 and share it on the community. The other 9 million and some more, you said only. That is why he says that, once in your government. Is that Liberian people voted for? Absolutely not.
Thank you so much. Let's get to our sister, Madam Kroma. Corruption. How does it affect the society? Let's go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me open with what my brother just ended with. When you have a certain president, my people, encouraging corruption, then what will government officials do? What will the citizens do? Because this man stood there and said that if you can see the money and invest in Liberia. So just to tell you that, go and see taxpayers' money. After stealing, you keep a portion at your house, and the rest of the money, you share it among the citizens, the masses of our country, the downtrodden masses of our country. So as an elected official, as an elected president before his inauguration, Bwaka started accepting bribe. He started accepting gifts from businesses. This is an act of corruption. No scientist will come from heaven, or no angel will come from heaven and tell us that, Bwaka would just be sitting down. A Bwaka of yesterday would just sit down, someone would just bring money and give it to him. No, because this man told us that he was living all alone. So the fact that Bwaka started accepting gifts is an act of corruption. One other one is corruption has become the hallmark of this regime. It is rampant. It is visible in all sectors. Corruption is just like, sorry for the expression, just like a prostitution in our country. Every sector in this country has been affected by corruption, and Bwaka is doing nothing about it. Corruption is also exploiting commercial drivers to register their vehicles, their keke, their motorbikes, and at the end of the day, you restrict them from running on major street without providing them no job opportunity. That is also corruption. You cannot tell me that I should go and register my bike over $100, $100, and at the end of the day, you restrict me from going out to fend for my living. That is also corruption. And corruption is also when you have Amos Swear, the Secretary General of the United Party taking loan from finance ministry without legislative approval. We saw that happening in this country. And Bwaka, he knows about it. The president knows about it. He's aware of it. And he cannot even account, the finance ministry, the prayer bank economy cannot also account for this over 73 million that have been, just in thin air. So people, oh, no way, in Liberia yet. People will just be sitting down in this country. Money that they allocated for a specific purpose will just disappear in thin air. You want to tell me that the president don't know about them? No, he's aware of them. He know exactly what is going on. Corruption is also when you have the CSA boss, Josiah Joker, that comical individual sitting down at the CSA, and telling us Liberians that he has cleaned the payroll but cannot account for 43 million.
That Siafa Boyman, Robert Blamo Jr., and Bobby Banquet, who were victimized during the process, when the Kino were capsized on the Simple River on October 17, 2020, it was established that Siafa Boyman got drowned. The body was discovered. The body was identified by eyewitnesses based upon the clothes that he was wearing. But the other two bodies, in person of Robert Blamo Jr. and Barbara Backway, we did not find them, or we have not discovered, or who knew the whereabouts of the person. So, in accordance with Chapter 25 and Subchapter 25.3 of the Civil Procedure Law of the Republic of Liberia, with caption, from our investigation conclusion, it was natural disaster. So, I rest for now.
Thank you. So that is it for now with the missing boys. As the investigator rightfully said, one person has been identified, and the body that was retrieved was carefully analyzed. There were no body parts seen to be missing, which would have indicated some ritualistic activities around it. The corpse was intact. The shoes were still on the feet. The clothes were still on the body that was recovered, and that matched with the eyewitnesses who were on the scene from both ends of the river, where he left his motorbike and boarded the canoe. So when the body was recovered, they were able to identify that yes, this was one of the people who did get on the canoe. So one person has been declared dead, and two persons missing in accordance with the law until we reach a period of 7 years. If we do not find or hear from them, at that point in time, then they can be declared dead. But for now, the other two are declared missing, and there's no criminality established so far in this case. The court case unit is also looking at
So I rest for now.
Thank you. So that is it for now with the missing boys. As the investigator rightfully said, one person has been identified, and the body that was retrieved was carefully analyzed. There were no body parts seen to be missing, which would have indicated some ritualistic activities around it. The corpse was intact. The shoes were still on the feet. The clothes were still on the body that was recovered, and that matched with the eyewitnesses who were on the scene from both ends of the river, where he left his motorbike and boarded the canoe. So when the body was recovered, they were able to identify that yes, this was one of the people.
All right. So
one person.
Fellow Liberians, home and abroad, as always, we see this as a privilege for us to be on here. Today is a very tense day for us and it's due to our schedule. But again, we want to say thanks to all of you for
has
joining
been
us.
clear.
So, as usual, we
That
urge
isn't
that you please hit for
for
us the
now
share
with
button,
the missing
share with
domestic
friends,
voice.
share with
We
family
ask
members.
the
Let's get
investigator
started to do
rightfully said
this.
one person has
Let's do
been
this together
identified
and let's have a
in
very,
the
very
body
great
that
and
was
wonderful
retrieved,
time, please.
was carefully it was carefully analyzed.
So let's do this together. Again, kindly hit for us the share button. I am sorry. The schedule for us here is still very tight. Let me just tell you that during the month of December, it's a very, very, very tight month for most of us here in the US. The reason is during this time, there are many things going on. In whatever area you find yourself, whether be in the health sector, whatever area is very busy. Most of our, co-workers, our colleagues, they take vacation, especially, our people who have given us the privilege, we are here with them. I mean, most of the time, these people take their vacation far ahead of time. They will take their vacation for the month of December because some of them, it is that time they want to spend with the family and etc. So they will take it. And usually, when they take these vacation, you know, for some of us who maybe looking for and maybe we may not have that resources to say, well, we ourselves will take the vacation too, then the hours are there. In some other areas, it is the time that we use the opportunity to be able to make one or two money, at least to be able to help family member back home, to help friends, or to do other one or two projects. So we put in more time. Also, in some other areas, you are compelled. They will say no, they ain't giving you no vacation. So at the end of the day, you just got to do what you got to do. So this time is a very busy month for us. But again, I want to say to all of you, thank you. If you see that we were not on earlier, both on the face the issue and also on the redemption hour, it was because we were stay on the clock and we could not do anything. But I'm glad that we are here and we just want to have a kind of late discussion before the night comes to an end. We want to use this time to welcome each and every one of you. We appreciate you for joining us. Now, Sister Hawa, how are you? I hope you are doing great, well, and fine. I want to welcome Boyka Bo Heron. Thank you for joining us. I want to welcome Josephine Campbell. Thank you so much for your presence here. It's always a privilege for us to have you here. Thank you so very kindly. So, again, as usual, we ask that you hit for us the share button, share with friends, share with family members, and let's have a very, very wonderful, a very, very wonderful time. A very wonderful time. So I want to say thanks to all of you. Today, we are celebrating the natal day of one of our brother, of one of our leader, of one of the men who is the leader of, the CDC here in the DMV chapter. Honorable Aliyu Masale. Honorable Aliyu Masale celebrates his natal day. We want to say happy birthday to you, Comrade Aliyu Masale. We wish you all of the best. We also want to use this time to welcome one of our leader in our community, in the Cape Mount community, our mother, our leader, our sister, Madam Iata Doze. Thank you so much for your presence here. I appreciate you. Thank you so very kindly. And all of you who are joining us, we want you to please hit for us the share button. Share with as many persons as you can share with. And let's have a wonderful time. My brother Frank, how are you, Chief?
I'm doing good, Prince.
As a woman.
She's doing fine. I think she's in her room. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Anyway, it's good to be here again. I'm sorry. for the late something anyway. Maybe we just spend 1 hour or so, but it's not easy, This month, very, very tense month for some of us. But again, we are grateful that we are here. I know for today we experience, a light snow on our end here. There's a light snow that we experience. And this time it's reaching plenty thing can be happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how's your area there? How's your end? How's your end there?
My end is great. It's just kind of cool out here. It tries
Yeah, sure.
snowing, but not too much. Just like little shower came.
Yeah, sure.
But we might be expecting something tomorrow, or before the weekend, finish. But it's kind of cool out there.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of cool. And we just hope that. My people, let me just give you this advice. I want to appeal to you. Now, when you are driving, make sure you have some very essential things in your car. Make sure you have some layers. Make sure you have some blankets. Somebody will say, make sure you get your blanket with you in your car, at least extra blanket. If you have the time, make sure you get at least a coat or jacket with you in that particular car. you know get some basic first aid stuff with you in the car. And if possible, I don't know, for me, that's what I do. If it is possible, get some snacks in the car, some snack that you can just easily take and eat. For example, in case there is some kind of breakdown, because or some kind of weather advice that will cause you not to move again, try to get some at least basic stuff in your car. I have experienced it before. I know what I'm telling you about. So it's something that you don't overlook this time around. We want to appeal to you in your car. If you can have some first aid stuff, just have some first aid thing, in your car. That would be very, very good. First aid stuff in your car, it will be very good. Make sure you have some kind of if that energy drink. I don't advise people to take the energy drink. I must say I don't take it, but water or so something like that. I know it will freeze, but get it in your car. Make sure you have some kind of lay first aid, kit in your car. You make sure you get your jumper, and what you're supposed to have it in your car, especially for this kind of season, because sometimes the car may break down. Sometimes it is possible because of snow. They may warn you not to even use the road. The road will not even be secure for you to use. Your car will start slipping, and they will tell you, say, wherever you are, be there. Some of you will be at work, and you will be compelled to sleep in your car or to sleep at work. It is those things that you have in a car that will be able to help you. So I want to appeal to you. Make sure you have those things in your vehicle. You know, get some basic thing, your blanket. Yeah, pa, we can sleep in our car, not strange thing. Not strange thing. Yeah, it's very normal. People that don't have, once you get car, you get horse. That's another thing. Once you get car here, you get horse. You can stay in your car. There are some people who stay in their car for 1 to 2 years so that they can put themselves together or put resources together in order for them to be able to rent a good place. It's very common. Yeah, that's the life that we live in. Very common here. So please, make sure your car is well equipped this particular season that we have entered, so that if the snow catch you somewhere or you on the road and say, look, that road there, you can't go on it again, you can't move because of the snow, you will have to wait for 4 5 hours, so that at least you can get something in your car to be mooching on. I'm begging you, my people. Yeah, my brother Frank, let's hear from you on this. At least, even though we are not expert, but some of these things we experience it, so we want to just, give our knowledge over to our people, or to tell them our own experiences to see if they can learn from it. But let's hear from you quickly before we go to our brother Jake
Yeah, I mean it's
on this issue
necessary.
of the warning.
Yeah, it's necessary because this time of the year, anything can happen. So you might be driving and there's an accident, ahead of you that may take some time and stuff. Or sometimes your car may slip, go down somewhere else, and it will take you some time before help comes. So it is necessary. Make sure you have water in your car, got some food, even some snack and stuff. Get it in there to prepare yourself for the winter, because a lot of things gonna happen. And especially this year, it already starts snowing, in the northern side, so it's gonna be, kind of bad. So get ready.
Sure, definitely. My brother Detroit, welcome.
Yeah,
Let's hear
welcome
from your end.
to brother Frank and you too. Yeah, yeah. For our side in Europe, I think you're a little bit colder than us because no, yeah, we're in December now, but November little bit. Like yeah, over here November was no too much cold. The cold just for now. I surprised her. The winter already picking up now, but in November, sun was shining in Europe here. So you're kind of a little bit different from us, a little bit. Yeah, but to the followers from Europe that are watching, yeah, you have to share this video too. So that's a salute to all the followers online. Sharing is very, very free and important to us. So that's it there. But for now, maybe in the middle of this month, yeah, probably the cool will be strong. But for in November, we're not strong yet. So to admit, not strong in November. It surprised a lot of people here because
Mhm.
November here it can be really cool, but this year it's not cool really. So let's see
Our
what
global
December will bring.
global warming, my brother, we can overlook these things, but it's very serious. Global warming is really, really serious. I know sometimes people say, "Oh," but you don't overlook these things. They are very, very serious, and I hope that we all will take notes on it. But
But you
thank you.
notice something, but we noticed something too, November, November the 29th were raining in Liberia where it never happened before.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
some
raining.
falling in Liberia also, some
Yeah.
places. Yeah, surprising in November, now in December. A lot of people said because we celebrate 29, like the tournament birthday, a lot of people put a lot of energy into it.
Hmm.
Imagine in 2029 were raining in Liberia, November 29, yeah.
All right, so I just want us to start on our first issue, and this first issue has to do with the meeting that Mr. Boyka had with his people, the cabinet meeting that Mr. Boyka had. In that particular cabinet meeting, there were a lot of things that were revealed in the cabinet meeting. Mr. Boyka made Liberians to understand that help is coming from nowhere, contrary to what he has been saying, that he has the connection, he has friends within the period of 100 days. The roads will all be pliable. He don't need any money. He will call his friends to come and help him. The clips are here. They talk on the issue of jobs. They will create jobs because they have all of the connections and etc. etc. They talk about the issue of security. Oh, the security will be fine, will be good, etc. etc. But the cabinet meeting that was held just a few days ago, that breaks the camel's back. Joseph Newman Boyka talks about the insecurity in Liberia. How the police or the security sector, they are now using the flag, like we have been saying long time before today. They are using that particular uniform to commit atrocity, to the extent Boyka himself said it. But I am very sure that you may be listening to it, my brother Jake, and we want to hear from you. What is your take about his cabinet meeting or some of the things that you actually, was able to take from there? Let's hear from you, sir.
I think probably, yeah, to the follower, once again, salute to you again. And Frank, to the followers, you're so great and very important to us for the podcast. So you're always, I'll pay my respect to you people. You're share the video, let it go across. Praise the president 2 years into the presidency now. So I believe now they know they're taking notes. They're not really delivering the country. So anywhere the president travel, let me tell you, we've been saying it here a long time. If anywhere you go, they'll tell you, they say, listen, you got to slow down. Your police brutality too much. The Western world, they know it. They know everything. When I tell you, Prince, these people, they thought when they were in the corridor during the opposition time, They were doing damage to George Weah. No. It falling back on them. I told them, yeah, they're lucky or not, Georgia was president of the republic, peace-loving president. When I tell you any day, he replaced Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to the globalists. The whole Europe, America, Europe, FIFA, the Arab war, and they pay homage to this guy because the posture, peacefulness, the way he carried himself, man with no violence. He had a lot of great connection. We get people calling boss and strike for the president. So I need to look at the United Party. When I tell you they have been blackballed, now they come into reality 2 years into the presidency, nothing working for them. So the president decided to change course. But that whole cabinet meeting, what I take from there, Prince, he made one damaging statement that baffled me in a whole cabinet meeting, not about cracking police brutality whatsoever. No, the real crumbs of that whole cabinet meeting, a lot of people don't capture. When you were addressing the librarian, just the DA telling them to not go hard on just anymore. I think you heard that statement that it baffled me. The country has been engulfed with drugs. You and your surrogate, the vice president, you told the Liberian people that George Weah was breaking drugs in the country here in Chronics. Then you will come down to power, you will come to power to crack down on drugs. And you came to power, you parallel yourself in Monrovia with your surrogate telling us that you're fighting war on drugs. Not knowing Liberian people call it Vlad. You're the president of the Republic of Liberia. Let's see. You commander-in-chief of the armed forces. All the security is the apparatus on your wing. The DE have been changed 3 different times. Probably this is another interim DE. The people trying to do that job in disregard our political affiliation. Drugs catches everybody, no matter what party you become from, no matter your affiliation. It's a serious pandemic in our country. It's a fight against reality, fight for the youth. Then you the president, you telling the DEA that really we boss now to fight drugs, then you say they shouldn't go hard, they shouldn't take hard stand. So I mean, we played a video here before, Prince. The first guy they suspended and they sacked him from the DEA, like 2 people, member of the executive branch of government. People part of the first branch of government, the legislature, people in high places know about the drug situation. After time, they sack that particular man. It's just a charade. They're just bluffing us. They lie to the Liberian people. So these people have been handcuffed by the president. The new DEA people have been handcuffed by the president. When the president can make that kind of statement. So it means all of them been compromised. Just, let me tell you now, Liberian people, just are engulfed the nation probably. When the sanction come on Liberia, because we are hot, now probably will be hot of drugs, will be the transit point of drugs because our borders all are weak. Everything weak. So will be the transit of drug will be like Equatorial Guinea. Will be like Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, the hub for drugs in West Africa. So we'll be part of that number from years, from the new year that coming. When the president say all that, the main thing I told from the president meeting in Bomi County, but the other one cracking down Greco Como, they get something on the president, they will never change course. So do not take long time because we just came later on late. So that French chime in a little bit about what I took, that man cross I took for that whole meeting.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my brother. My brother Frank, let's hear from you. You're listening to the cabinet meeting, some excesses from the president, Mr. Boyka. Let's hear from you, sir.
Um, thank you so much, Brother Prince. And you know, I mean, this unity party-led government on Boakai, as I now refers to him as president. And again, I got my reason, and I can defend my reason at any time. You ask me, I can defend my reason as to why I don't refer to him as president. I don't see him as president, because I have now seen him functioning as a president, right? Um, Again, for what is going on in the country, for some of us, it is not strange to, or we knew these things were going to happen. All right, we knew what's going to happen. We knew Liberia was going to face such an issue for the coming 6 years, and even after the 6 years, the next leader to come in, going to face the same thing, because in order to get things back in order, this is 6 years that have been wasted. All right, with issues. So it's going to take another government, another government 6 to 7 years to put things in order to set the country, right, to move on. Now, you see, let me say this: for the government in power, right? For this is not even opposition. At least opposition supposed to say is right. The country is suffering from insecurity. All right, letting the government know that, hey, the country is suffering from insecurity. The Liberian citizens' life are in danger. You are now worth to protect the life, and property of the Liberian people. I think it is opposition or ordinary citizens supposed to say that. But a nation, all right, led by the government, and the government is coming out to tell us, say, the nation is facing insecurity. Now, we are the one now supposed to ask the government now, and these are the questions I'm going to ask the government. If you are telling us the nation is facing insecurity, right? Who are causing this insecurity? Because this is not opposition, because, they should come out and tell whether it is opposition that is causing insecurity. Because I remember during President George Manneh Weah regime or administration, let me not say regime because it sounds like a rebel terms, but during his administration, these are the same people in opposition that said President Weah brought Burkina Faso in Grand Jide, and he was training Burkina Faso to rig the election. But get to find out the election commission did not even announce who was the winner, or who was the winner, which political party was the winner. But at the end of the day, the same man that said he was bringing in Burkina Faso to train Burkina Faso citizens in Grand Jide to rig the election. This man took the election and gave it to Boakai and said, you know what, listen, I don't want no fight. You said I was training people. You created a false allegation against me. So to make the Liberian people to understand that what you said, I was training people to rig election. I am going to take this election and give it to you. Let me see how you will carry on this country. Now, let me say this clear for Liberian people to understand. For Boakai to come out to say the nation is facing insecurity, Boakai is making mockery out of the Liberian people. Boakai is making mockery out of the Liberian nation. Now, what am I saying this? Was it Boakai that came out and started sacking security personnel? Look at the nation. We don't even have security personnel already. All right? The citizens are more than the security personnel. But this man came in. He started sacking security personnel with the notion that these people were trained by the CDC-led government. Now, it's a CDC-led government, not a government for the people. It's a CDC-led government, not a government for holistically for Liberian to join any force and to be trained. So it's Boakai telling us it was the job of the opposition to train security personnel, or it is the job of the government in power to train security personnel to protect the nation. But this man came in. He started sacking people that they were trained by the CDC-led government. If to say the CDC-led government was still a political party, yes, it was a CDC-led government, but at that point, it was no longer a political party. It was a government that is representing holistically the Liberian people, both home and abroad. It was a government that was advocating for the Liberian people, both home and abroad. It was a government that was putting things in place to make sure Liberians are protected and safe, both home and abroad. It was a government that was making sure Liberia had the necessary security. It was a government that was making sure Liberia had necessary security to all parts of the counties in Liberia. But this government came in and started sacking people, security personnel, with the notion of these people, they were trained by the CDC-led government. Now, the nation is suffering from lack of security. Then how can you come out to tell us the nation is suffering from insecurity? Now, let me say this. If the nation is suffering from insecurity, it is the incompetency of Boakai as a president to lead that country. Why am I saying this? You know, I watched a video today, and these are some of the things that they cause the insecurity. Because I can tell you, citizens too will get, at some time they may get afraid of the security personnel, right? But again, on the other hand, if the brutality continue, right? Citizens will get mad, citizens will get angry, they will take things into their own hand and start doing things. Now, why am I saying this? I watched a video today. Trust me. Now, I did not know the nature of the crime. I did not know the nature of the arrest. But as a security personnel, it is your duty to protect every Liberian, every citizen, regardless of their crime. But I watched this video. I saw these security personnel, the border police, acting like a rebel. They were stepping on these civilians, these citizens, stepping on them, walking on them, and then told them to lie down. How can somebody lie down on the floor with their command, all right, not resisting order? And then at the same time, you walk on top of them, you walking on top of them, and then telling them, remove your clothes, like rebel, right? Remove your clothes and lie down on the floor. These people remove their clothes, and then at the same time, beating them with batu. Don't you think, for God's sake, these people will get angry and they will react? Don't you think, for God's sake, these people will react on different people just to make sure they get justice too? That's not how a police officer, you need to treat your citizens. I don't know if they went to a ghetto for to raid a place or whatsoever, but that does not give you the audacity to treat any citizen by stepping on them, walking on them, and then telling them remove your clothes and then beating them with batu. These things cause insecurity. And let me tell you this, Brother Prince. Now, I did not read the full article to understand why the Swedish embassy is leaving Liberia. But what I can say, right, this is not, we are not fighting war. Because these are some of the things that you can look at. We are not fighting war, right? War is not in the country. But why would the Swedish embassy?
We'll come to that topic. We'll come to the topic.
Yeah, that is a topic that we really need to touch.
All right.
Yeah, that is something that we really need to touch. Yeah.
But again, these things will cause insecurity. The same bucket government, right? People watching. Citizens come out. Just come out to them. A student cannot even participate in the government. Things that they saw yesterday that was necessary. Things that they saw yesterday that was constitutional. Today, those things, if Liberian people want to do it, now the same government say it is unconstitutional. Things they said yesterday was constitutional for the Liberian people to do. The Constitution gave the right. The Constitution gave the right, and they start quoting all kind of article this, article that, article this, article this. It is the right of the Liberian people. But today, those rights have been taken for the Liberian people. It is unconstitutional. These things cause insecurity. So how can Boakai come out to say the nation is facing insecurity when they themselves are the one breaking the rule of law? That's how you cause insecurity in a country when you do not respect the same fundamental rule of law of the nation that carry both lawmaker above security personnel and non-security personnel in a country. Now,
Thank
security
you.
personnel does not respect the rule of law. What do you expect when the government will not respect the rule of law? Do you expect citizens to respect the rule of law? These things cause insecurity.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to welcome our sister, Mayfla Reeves. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, my people, I want to play you a couple of videos, and I want you to listen to these videos. When you're listening to this video with a clear understanding and not put on your political or whatever cap, you will see that Liberia is on a time bomb under Joseph Dreamer Boyka. And I don't want you to believe it. I want you to listen to the former LDEA, one of the bosses. I will play the video and I want you to listen to it. He made a revelation. He gave us an information. And that information did not settle well with Mr. Boyka and his cronies. You know, to fight the issue of drugs or to fight crime, crime in itself is a whole business all by itself. Look, my people, they think you see crime, that multi-billion dollars business all by itself. Crime that business, oh, nobody should deceive you. Crime that business. They get people who just there to ensure that they gave people whatever they can give them to go and perpetrate crime, and they get dividends of it. So it's a business all by itself. Like drugs, it's a lucrative business. The how crime is a business. The how war is a business too. I know it's sounding scary, but that's the reality. War is serious business. People can sponsor war because they know that at the end of the day, if there is a war going on somewhere, armed trade will go on there. The people who selling arms, they will be able to get good profit. There will be illegal smuggling of minerals in that particular area. The people then who in the mineral area, they will get money. Drugs people will be able to carry their drugs there because they know in the face of war, you sell drugs, people take drugs, their mind are not right, they can do anything that they're supposed to do. So it's a business all by itself. So when the LDEA boss made that revelation that the executive was engaged in the issue of drugs, the judiciary was engaged in the issue of drugs, the legislative branch, they were involved in this issue of drugs. And he said that it was a difficult thing to fight because the people who are involved with drugs, they are the bosses. They are the ones who are supposed to be making decisions for us as an ordinary people, who our children are affected. And we raise this thing, we flag it here. And some of you thought I were joking. I want to play this video for you. And I will play Mr. Voika's voice for you to listen to it. Let's play the few minute video so our people, you can be able to hear it for yourself. Let's just play this. I'm sorry. Let me see here. Let me add this here so that we can be able to play this. Okay. Okay, fine. So listening to the former LDA boss that was sacked by Mr. Boyka.
But let me let you know, if you know one, you let me know. If you know one, you let me know because we gotta know we'll fire you right away. You can't be consuming drugs and you want to go fight somebody to stop. So that is just about it. You know, we don't consider it. I mean, we don't have consideration for people there like that. So these are our focus. Okay. And also, you talk about getting high ups involved in distributing drugs and whatsoever. The issue of drugs, there is nobody that I know, as far as a leader for the agency, that is that is trafficking drugs, because that is the fight that we are doing. We start within ourselves. Whatsoever that we put out there must be example. So the issue of accusing people on this drug thing, there's a reason for that. Because even in the society from all sectors, I would say openly here, from the executive, the first president government, and to the judiciary, you go in the sector, you will find somebody involved with drugs. The reason is simple. Drug is a lucrative business, so everybody want to get money.
You hear what he's saying? Let me just carry it back small for you to hear it. To the extent that when the LDEA was being accused of involved, especially the heads of involved in drugs, he said, look, in other words, he stood on the platform, and the place that he was speaking was not just an ordinary place. This was the place that the government used to disseminate our information. My
Yes,
brother Jake,
Nipa.
you can please mute. We're getting some terrible feedback from your end. This was the place that the government used to disseminate her programs, her policy. That the place he was speaking from, you see the flag behind him. So it's like when he was being quizzed or when he was being pushed to the water, LDEA boss, you're involved in drug, blah, blah, blah. Look, he came to the place where he said, look, I got to bust this thing out. I care about my job. I care about whatever. And he said, the issue of drugs, everybody involved with it. So listen, let's just carry back small and you listen to this.
It's a lucrative business, so everybody wants. The reason is simple. Drug is a lucrative business, so everybody want to get money. For that, you will find somebody somewhere who is involved. So when you fighting drugs, you find almost people everywhere. So your security is just in God's hand. Because you can be sitting where the first person government. I will say openly here, from the executive, the first person government, and to the judiciary. You go in the sector, you will find somebody involved with drugs. The reason is simple. Drug.
So let me move this from here. You listening to Mr. Suwa, former LDA boss that was sacked by Mr. Boyka, telling us that in every sector there are people who are involved. In fact, he started from the executive and said, there are people in the executive who are involved in this issue of the drugs trade. He said, you come down to the judiciary, there are people involved. You go to the legislative branch, there are people involved. And what is even more scaring is for the president himself to allude to the fact that people are involved with this issue of drugs and it must be fought vigorously. That's why you saw him when he took over. He went to take his tests, drugs tests. All of us felt that by he taking the drugs test, it was going to be a medium through which he will fight the issue of drugs fearlessly, that he will put his all into it. But to the extent where he acknowledged that these people are engaged in the fight of drugs, they are not making any effort on the part of the government to ensure that our children are free of drugs. But the president will come to tell the Liberian people, like we already know, that look, LDA, the way you're fighting drugs, you're almost like using the badge as a hunting license to go and hunt for people. When you are fighting drugs, it's not an easy thing. Yes, you are hunting for people, but not in a negative manner, not in a negative way, like in Liberia, what people are doing, where you find the DEA are unaliving people, treating people as if to say, once according to our law in Liberia, when you are accused, you are innocent until they can prove that you are guilty. Even if somebody catch you stealing, according to the Liberian law, it says you are innocent until they can carry you to the court and they prove that you are guilty. So let's listen to Mr. Boyka here and hear what he will say about the security apparatus, about the security forces. Let's listen to him here and hear what he's saying. Let's bring this here and then be able to bring it here.
CC matters.
Okay.
I'm monitoring because they will have to be what they want us to be. So suspended tenor cases, outstanding audits, LHCC matters must be resolved quickly, like I said. Security anti-drugs, we have talked about that. Fight against drugs been intensified. we want to warn those people who are doing these jobs that they are not, like I tell the police, the badges they wear are not hunting license.
So you see, let's just stop it here at first. You see the contradiction. Joseph Numa Boyka is now warning the drug, the LDEA people. I know they have their own issue. I know, sometimes the way they carry themselves. But Boyka is now warning them. They think your drugs, slow down on it. They think your drugs here, don't be running behind people. They think your drugs, I know that some of the things that they are doing is completely out of their scope of operation. I understand that. But the pronouncement coming from Joseph Numa Boyka is like telling the LDA people that you're going too hard, you're going too fast. Slow down. And the reason why you are hearing Boyka talking like this is because he is a beneficiary of the drugs money. He is. His children are involved in the selling of drugs. So it's not strange. Boyka benefited from it. For you as a leader to come up, hey, you got to slow down. I agree. The LDA are doing some things, which they need a serious reform, need serious training, and etc. But when you as a leader coming up to tell the people who are fighting drugs, you think the fight of drugs that easy thing? It's not easy. Because drugs lead to so many things. It leads to a complete breakdown in society like we are experiencing. But because Boyka is a beneficiary, according to what you hear from the LDEA boss, the man who Boyka sacked, not from me, the man who Boyka sacked from him, that people are involved with drugs from the level of the executive. So Boyka is forced to tell these LDEA people, just slow down. Listen.
Just the way are not hunting the police, that they are not, like I tell the police, the badges they wear are not hunting license. I see the drug people, they're running wild with things as if.
You see that? I see the drugs people, they are running wild with things and stuff like that. Do these people need reform? Yes, they do need reform. Do they need adequate training? Yes, they need adequate training. But when you, as a leader, you see, the field of security is completely different. The things that the leader will say will be able to demoralize the troop to fight against crime or to motivate them to fight against crime. That's why you see sometimes some security meetings, they are sensitive and they are done behind the cameras, not in front of the cameras. Because it's not everything that you want to put out there. It's not everything that you want to say. That's why you see, as a president, you have what we call security advisors. There are certain things, because of the security implication, you do not say out like that. Because by saying it, you will encourage the act to continue. What the LDA need is not going slow or going fast. They need training. What the LDA need is not going slow or going fast. They need resources to be able to build their capacity. That's what they need. That's what they need. But if Joseph Numa Boyka can tell the people, yeah, you're going too fast, you got to slow down. You know what Boyka is telling these drugs people? Let's go back to starter codes. You forget about the way you're fighting these drugs. I agree, like I said from the beginning, that some of the way these people go about fighting drugs is completely odd. It's completely bad. It's inhuman. It's just like, rebel way of behaving. But what they need is adequate training. And it is that adequate training that Boyka is not giving them, but Boyka is trying to cover up and stopping them. Say, you don't go hard on drugs. You see, that's what happens when you, as a leader, you do not give the people the resources. When you don't give them the necessary training. So they go out there and just do what they want to do. Everybody just fight drugs according to his own description. You believe that when you go, you must catch the man, you lying down, you dying, you hold a nail, you choking, you asking where the drug, and he gonna get a drug, you take iron, you torture him because they don't have training. And this is a disgrace on Joseph Numa Boyka and the Unity Party government. Because these people said that during we had time we had only one coach, that coach we had. But now it has multiplied. You know why? Because the people who used to bring drugs in the country, they are the ones now that are in position. It's not me. It's not what I am saying. It's what the LDEA boss told us from the very beginning. We played that clip. The man said every sector, they are engaged. When you get the people who are bringing drugs, when they are in position or when they are in authority, what do you expect? Oh, it will waste. What do you expect? The last time, and me and you were here, we saw that the vehicle for the presidential escort, it was involved in drugs. I mean, from Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, you forget about Perry Dolo. Oh, let me remind you, we forget about Perry Dolo, one of the escort of the president, the presidential escort, who used the motor car to be able to put drugs inside and bring it. Oh, recently, and also there was a news of about 4 officers who were in the car with huge amount of drugs and they were arrested. Oh, you're finna forgetting? So the people who used to give drugs to our children, the people who know how to use drugs, they are the ones in power. Look at Joseph Numa Bueka, a member of the Lofa Defense Force. You think what was some of the reason our war was just senseless and so foolish enough? To the extent that people look at building and say, let's bring the building down. Let's bring it down because a crown man get it, or a Madingo man, or that Gio man get it. So let's bring the building down. Why you think people were firing Lepo and they were cutting it down? Why you think people were moving tar from on the wall? Because our children, they were introduced to drugs by these people who sponsored the war in Liberia. So they know the effect of drugs. They know the value. They know the negative effect. They know how they can use drugs to control the society. Joseph Numa Bueka is aware. The Unity Party, they are aware. So now that they are in power, it wastes, it spoil, it damage, it finish. Because they will use their position to bring in these narcotic substances. Let's go to our brother Jake, my brother Jake, as we hear from you on this issue of 30 seconds. Just saying you my own remarks, and then we can move to other issue. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, please. Once again, to the followers, always respect and you share the video. Prince, I like this kind of video. You know why I like this kind of video? That why nothing working for the Unity Party. That God, I think that God or just move from beyond the president threw a government under the boss. He, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, president of the republic. These are the video they are like that can come in the Western world to the international partners, the billionaire club, the donors. They won't get nothing to Liberia. I will give you an example. The unity, you're lucky or not. You see the guy that sacked Prince is a whistleblower. He was DA man, but he's a renowned whistleblower. The present government trying to accuse him and his organization. So he said, I will let it off. I will say every year, I will go on your makeup podium and tell, what does that mean? We're telling this statement to Liberian people. We're telling it to the international. When I say the Unity Party get low IQ, your IQ with me. They were parading and said that they're so smart. They're so dumb. Please, they push that government shaking already. They cannot do nothing. The president always throwing the government under the boss. He's a president of the republic. He doesn't govern the country. He's not governing the country. It's a damaging report right there from the president. You know what that president trying to imply? What the president trying to say to the war and the Liberian people? DA. He arrested the DA. He copied them. He's an architect for the security apparatus. Everybody answer to a win. You see why he making that statement? When the guy told you, remember the when the guy was telling you people in the executive branch of government, all the hierarchy, like there's a just law now, just country now. Let me remind followers here. You think what? Let me tell followers here, we like in the West, maybe in America, but I'm speaking from Europe here. That reality, that facts. The greatest African drug pusher in Europe are Nigerians. They know they all run Europe for it. When they arrest any Nigerian, the police, the security apparatus, and know that judge. The second country that is Sierra Leone. Facts. The whole African region, West African region, Nigeria and Sierra Leone. You don't. Let me tell you something. Liberia don't know about drugs. Prince, why we think we're having serious relationship with the Sierra Leone government and the Liberian government, and we're changing police details and other things. What happened before? We talk about Interpol. Interpol is you in the security sector. You treat security. Why we having a close relationship now? And look at the Sierra Leone border where everybody will pass through. Henry Costa then pass through that border. You finish forgetting? When George Weah, he went through that. The Sierra Leone border is the weakest border. Let me tell you today that facts that the Unity Party, they were selling drugs on the George Weah government and painting the government wrong. Why the president of the Republic of Liberia not fighting wholeheartedly on drugs now, but he handcuffing the DEA? It's a handcuff. He's the president. He handcuffing them. So the whole executive branch of government have been compromised according to the whistleblower. I hope he get a protection because he get whistleblower protection. If he not get whistleblower protection, then he call some oil with simply the Western warrior for that protection, for his protection. Because according to rules and laws all around the world, all whistleblower, they get protection.
So just come in quickly, my brother. I'm sorry for just intruding.
Yeah, go ahead.
Talking about Joseph Numa Boyka, you say protection for whistleblower. Let me give you an example. The people who are in prison, and you know that they were tortured.
Yes.
The people send them to the clinic, to hospital, to go and verify whether for true they were tortured. We received the report from the doctors saying that yes, indeed, these people were tortured and they need medical attention. Where are they today? Did they go? They did not go. They stay in jail, right?
Yeah.
They are staying in jail. So you talk about Joseph Numa Boyka, then you're talking about internet. This man does not respect
Let me put a question back to
law
you.
or anything that protects him or her.
No, let me put a question back to him. His government is bleeding blood. They are bleeding. Why nothing happening for them? Listen to me. You think the whole world on microscope now, especially that country like Liberia, where the people spend over billions of dollars to bring the peace to that nation. You think they're not money? Listen to me. When I tell you they get sharp color and ballers against the Unity Party destroyed that said long time ago by cracking down the former president.
Jake,
They will not get no benefit.
Today, let me just clear this thing.
Yeah.
When people say nothing is happening for this government, for me, I have a different plane of it. I have a different view. It's not that nothing is happening for the government. Nothing is happening for the Liberian people, but things are happening for this government. The government is using the resources, putting it in their pocket. For example, look at the lawmakers, how much these people are getting. Look at the executive, look at the budget that just passed. It is the Liberian people that will not benefit. So, for example, if international aid is not coming in, it's not coming in, meaning that the Liberian people, the ordinary people, will be affected. But not these idiots that call themselves government official, the very majority of them, because these people are getting their benefits, they are getting their salary. So as individuals in the government, they are benefiting. But are the ordinary people not benefiting, my brother? The people ain't get time. Joseph Numa Boyka don't have time for the Liberian people.
Okay.
The man get time for his
Let me put a question to you. Let me put another question to you and Frank. Okay. Let's say the present government, even they invest in millions of dollars, like bring millions of US dollars from whatsoever means corruption. Let me ask you a friend. Are they keeping the money in the Liberian banking institution? That money, listen, when if I'm telling you something, you let to doubt me, Prince, the Unity Party, if they don't change course that particular year, I said they were money, all that money will be frozen in the West. If I tell you something, John Ware is a darling of the West, it's not a joke. You saw what happened in Washington, D.C. a few days? Yesterday night, for the FIFA draw that brought thousands of business billionaire president all around the global elite. You saw the global.
We'll talk about that.
Wait. Well, when we ask your question here, you think the Unity Party wicked to play game against the CDC, so CDC will fold again? So wait, why how you gonna be thinking they were here? You think cities when they were in the corridor, they never knew Washington DC when they were in the corridor. Let me tell you something today. This particular government bound to fail. You know what? That Donald J. Trump thing, this is the party that in the camp of George Weah, the ruling establishment of the Republican Party, the Ted Cruz. Let me name it to name the Marco Rubio. Oh, wait, the FIFA president is a personal person to the president of America, Donald J. Trump. And John Weah is said that John Weah daddy, son, we're giving one of the lucrative deal ever in the history of football. John Weah continue. If I tell you your thing that they're talking from stupid, when John Weah got over $200 million budget to operate, FIFA was $6 billion. Ticket have already been sold. The highest ticket sold. They even start the football year. Fact, them a fact check anything. Well, you think the Unity Party, when Buchanan made peace, he not made peace to unify that nation. The government bound to crumble. Those are fighting up the Lord and listening. They want to listen to someone. Oh, me about I was chronic whistle blower.
Let me come in, Jay.
Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
Okay,
the truth here is, right, Jay, we knew from the initial stage of this government, right, this government, we knew this government was already a failure. And we have discussed this several times, that as a government, you can never come in and then make enemy with your predecessor.
Yes.
You never, ever do it, because your predecessor, they may not be called the current president, but they still carry that title president. The only area, the only area that you might have difference is you have the current president and you have the former president. By the end of the day, whether you are former president or not, you are still an elite in the country, and you are still part of the decision making or policy making of the country. No matter what, the president, the current president, will still go to the former president for ideas for their connection. Now, and we said this, Bogart does not have connection. And Bogart came in power to make enemy with the two former president. And that is why I think it came up even for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She made a statement and said, Liberia is going down the drain. And Liberia is on her own. I mean, that is to tell you that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is in her power. She already closed all her connection with Joseph Boakai. There was no way that Joseph Boakai was going to get any Ellen Johnson Sirleaf connection for his administration. That was done. Now, we also said, if this government wants to succeed, it is upon this government to go back to the former president, President George Manuel Weah, and make it right with him. President George Manuel Weah does not have any issue. And this connection will be open to this government. Because at the end of the day, we said it here, at the end of the day, it is about Liberia. And this government succeeds, Liberia succeeds. We are not playing a deck of politics, unlike when they were in opposition. According to them, they had connection. According to them, they wanted George Weah to fail. According to them, they came to Washington, D.C. into 6 months of the presidency of President George Manuel Weah's presidency. These people acted like slaves. Came to Washington, D.C. saying his own recording, saying that the slaves that left here, that went to Liberia, they were descendants of those slaves. So in all war, they are saying thing just to tell Washington, D.C. for Washington, D.C. to send their taxpayer money to Liberia. She referred to themselves as they were all slaves. She did not say, we are Liberian and those things, but she said the slaves that left from here, that went to Liberia, they are descendants of those slaves. They are also slaves. So they are in Washington, D.C. to tell the American government not to send money to Liberia. They did all of these things. But you see, with this current opposition, like the CDC, right? We said this on this platform several times. We are not going to preach political hate. We are going to preach and direct this government. And we also said even directing this government will be meaningless because it is a government that is not willing to take corruption. For example, let me say this. I watched a video, a recording, I think yesterday or so from Nigeria. A journalist asked Buakai a question regarding President George Weah about how he's going to make things right. Because look, it's obvious. Everybody in the country know that if this man does not make things right with George Weah or the former or two former presidents, things will not be fought in Liberia. The general asked him Buakai the question. And you are so arrogant, and so mad that they have to ask this question, answer that question. They platform me. Like you are so angry that you know what? I did this, I went to them. If you see that just like that, and he walked away, and I think that was just it, he walked away. These are some of the things that we are talking about. And you know, like Prince says, right? This government is getting money. Now, let me say this, women. I can't even say, right, this country is broke. I cannot say Liberia is broke. Liberia is not broke. Because you and myself, let me say this. You and myself, like, look, I want to believe all the traffic Buakai doing, Buakai getting money. But for that government, yes, I mean, yes, women, listen to this. Was the opposition that came out with $1.2 billion budget? It was not the opposition.
That budget, you believe that budget?
I don't care. They brought it out. They brought it out, right? So they got money. There's money there. Now, they are dishing money for citizens to go at their rally tomorrow. Can you imagine that they gave him $20? I mean, I saw a video that was playing. They gave this boy $20 with t-shirt. Now, if they gave him, do you know how many people in Liberia if they gave him $20 just to go attend? Do you know how many thousands or millions of dollars they will give to people? I mean, let's be frank here. These people got money. The truth is, the Liberian people are not benefiting from this administration. But the administration, by itself, they are benefiting. The administration, I mean, look at the horses. These people are burying horses. He said no money in the country. They're burying $10 million horses. Burying the horses are now their projects and things going on. He said the country does not have money. No, they don't have money, but the Liberian people are not benefiting. But my point I want to make here is, you know, just to detail your question and those things. The truth here is this government have seen a failure, right? They are seeing a failure, and it is tough on them because we have another 4 years to go that we have to deal with, right? And now let me just come to the whole DA things, like the statement Waka made in there that the DEA or the police officer, they are going hard on, or how they call it, or surveillance or this. Let me be frank with this. You see, that is why, again, I will say this. I will never call this man a president because he does not behave like a president. He does not have the characteristic, the charisma of being a president, right? He does not have the understanding. I think what he should have told the Liberian people in a cabinet meeting, what he should have said to the Liberian people, was to bring out ideas about how he's going to fight drugs, not telling people you are going harsh on Liberian. I think he should have told the Liberian people or tell the IG, where are the channels to which these drugs are passing? Is it to the port? Is it to the airport? I mean, is it to these various borders? Where are they passing? I think what you have told the Liberian people is to strengthen custom or to strengthen immigration, where these drugs are coming from, to put in mechanism in place. Right now, need to ask these LDEA or even the police, do you need more security? Do we need to recruit more people? Do we need, what kind of training do we need? What kind of equipment do you need? Do you need vehicle and those things? I'm just giving an example, but not to come over there and say you are going too hard on the Liberian people or you are going too hard on how you are treating peoples and things. Now, we are saying these things. I think that should be level of the court, right? On how to educate, again, that the judiciary aspect about how to deal with law and those things. But I think what Buakai should have told the Liberian people to put things in order, mechanism in order, how they can, how they call it, put more security at the border, at checkpoint, at the airport, where these drugs are passing and coming into the country. Because at the end of the day, it is not the ordinary citizens that are bringing, or the common people that is say that are bringing the drugs in the country. Yes, the common people may be the one after these drugs, taking these drugs, but at the end of the day, it is the importer, those are bringing in the drugs. Those are the places you need to pay key attention to so that these things cannot be in the country. But again, this government is a failure.
And friend, let me tell you, one day we'll come on this show. You know, let me say something. When I tell people another sedition, another we are sharing, they can be surprised. Another sedition, another we are sharing. No, that somebody I know personally, vis-a-vis, he know me personally. That's why I can say when George was not in politics no more, I tell preach anytime. The day George decided to start politics in Liberia or not take part in no political affiliation in the Republic of Liberia, you will never see me come on social media and plead for the president. No, I'm done with Liberian. I'll be done at that time because I believe in a policy. I knew we have a agenda. One day I will come with Prince on the show. You know, CDC people, they have George Weah, but they don't put George Weah in one box. They don't respect because I see some damaging statement coming from the camp of the CDC. Oh, George Weah weak. George Weah, he not leader of our party. Here we go. They make a $200 million budget. Sorry, but those are in the corridor. Oh, this and that preaching propaganda on their own party. They're not loyalists. I will come in and cut law to the Liberian people. And not, let me say it tonight. I'm not travel with the president before in Qatar. All the great leaders, eh? I will cut it off one day, the connection they got had. You're finishing, like when you finish just see small connection from the surface, the FIFA president. You will say, oh, that war football balling government, he play football. No. The emir of Qatar, they call Tani. The UAE, they get 7 Emirates. UAE, people can say UAE, Dubai, they get 7 different leaders. The main leader is a personal person to the president. That Emirate hotel, that Emirate hospital, what all you saw. Let's see, John, where if I tell Liberian people, because we don't give respect or prophet in your own place, Liberian people don't have respect for the men that God gave us. So the gullible society now focus too much because of the lies and the propaganda from the small rap there that the Henry Costa there, all these stupid guys who don't have one connection, they know nothing. They wouldn't lie, they wouldn't survive on lies and blackmail and propaganda. They don't even know that president. The kind of connection the men were waiting for a second term prince. I tell you, upon God that I said, if the Liberian people are going to vote in, not because of stupid Prince Johnson, may so rest in peace, and be gullible and be hateful to the president because of Nima Kante. We're on a different path. We're on a zero different path. He's a darling of the new generation. He's a darling of the West now. To all the African former leaders, the present leader, they made naked posture. They made peacefulness, giving all the gateway to life. They were looking for peace now. So all that stupid there, I'm not cutting up. All that stupid there, the CDC people in the corridor talking, oh, we need new leader. We need leader that can fire. I tell you, sir, I'm not telling Liberian people, I'm not telling the United Party, the day Joe get angry, he can put 1 million people on the street to protest. The whole country will sing. Reality. He got a radical posture that nobody know it. No, oh, how the men were denied the world second best play, the world for the second time. You know what happened in Portugal during a football career? When Costa, when they call in that black naked knee, what he did? You think he get a radical side? Nobody stubborn than the president, the former president of the Republic of Liberia. Can you be looking and talking that nonsense in the corridor, watching in America, in Liberia there? Nobody's radical than George Weah. Let me tell you today. But because he live in different type of life now, he rule the country. He see the world with different atmosphere, different picture. For how he's get a post. He built a lot of great bridges to break because of Liberian people. No, he know he will come back to power. I told Prince, the only fear I get, in Republic of Liberia that can stop Georgia because becoming president. When the Unity Party, when they plan another strategy to steal on power, but taking up Bwaka and do a political predation and do a military coup to put Baka Eza and the other Fole and the group of the people that overthrow the government. What happened in Guinea-Bissau? I told you it was a fake coup that happened in Guinea-Bissau. He didn't want to believe me until the former president of Nigeria, he lay all that was a fake coup. That guy was an ex-general that became president.
Yes.
Because he was almost defeated. He decided for his general to overthrow him. President will speak in Senegal. Mbalo is in Senegal. The former president of Guinea-Bissau, Mbalo is in Senegal. I will speak now. He made the general and to overthrow him. You know who went to the first call of that meeting, Prince? Mado Bio. Who is Mado Bio? Former military leader of Sierra-Leone. What can AU do? Or what can AU do? What can ECOWAS do? It's a bloodless coup because they don't want for the opposition to come to power. I told Prince of fake coup. Similar thing that my predation. It can go down in Liberia. I went on AB show and sell it. It's possible it can happen. Baka will be 85 years. So when I told Prince that Baka not running no more, you'll be 85. It's going to be 86 years.
I'm not putting you away, man. If that happened, right?
Yeah.
I think
what will do? What your library will do?
That's what I'm coming. That's what I'm coming. I think I spoke on it this gone weekend on my channel. If that happened, right? The difference between Guinea-Bissau and Liberia is this.
Yeah.
Liberia, right? We got a lot of ex-combatants who are not satisfied with this government. Right?
Okay.
That's not prediction. We got a lot of ex-combatants who fought war, right? And they know about weapons. We have a lot of Liberians in there, no weapons. They know how to operate on weapons. Unlike Guinea-Bissau, that was not the case. But if they do that in Liberia, I can tell you, it's going to be war. It's not going to end as the way Guinea-Bissau ended.
Okay, let me put a question to you and Prince. Although we're diverting the situation, but it's very touching, it's very important. Prince, to the followers here, let me come pin your question here. Let me pin something to you that you're quick to forget. To the follower, Prince, you forget from the initial state of the presidency of Joseph Yiman Bwaka, when he told the Liberian people should register gun. You're finna forgetting? He said, it never happened in our history. We came from a Liberian civil war for many, many years. As he said, a lot of people know about gun, the old school, the whatsoever.
Yeah.
What made the president of the republic? He was part of the local defense force. He saw rebellion in our country. He took the mantle authority of the nation now. He power to him peacefully with no disturbance. Had all the security apparatus all under his wing. He let the system to flow. While the president of the Republic of Liberia, Joseph Yiman Bwaka, say people should, our governable society, we don't have database, we don't have computer system. Why he tell people to register gun? You know what? If they register gun, all that gun it will be in the hands of the present government in surrogate. That members, they will not be in the hands of the opposition. They will not be in the hands of CDC. They will calculate. When I tell you, when I come on show and tell you that this thing can happen in Liberia, what will you do? When the military intervene, you know who the OAU chairman? You know who AU chairman? The Malabio. Who is Malabio? Malabio hit George Weah to the core. He can't stand George Weah. I've seen it. Similar thing that happened in Sierra-Leone. You know how it will happen in Sierra-Leone also? I'm breaking it down. Malabio will not leave. He will leave power. But what Malabio will do, he will let somebody from his party or general to come and overthrow him. Let me tell you something. The scenario that took part in Guinea-Bissau is a lay-off play. The whole West African region, they want to do military coup. That they tactic. So the only way we can stop this thing, the only way the government or the opposition can stop it, stop pinpointing the European Union, stop talking to ECOWAS, start intervening, America will intervene, all the world body will intervene. That's the only way. Because what will happen, they will dissolve. If it go down, that's not predation. I hope it shouldn't happen. fully. Everybody should stay away from the whole thing. I hope it shouldn't happen. I hope it shouldn't happen. They will dissolve parliament. They will dissolve the legislature.
Now, wait a minute. It could be two ways. Like I said, I have brought ideas on this, right? And I talk about it. It could be two ways. Okay, I understand, right? You said it is time to get to the European Union. It is time to get to ECWA or AU or whosoever, right? For watchful eye. But again,
yeah,
I'm a Pan-Africanist, and I will tell you this for once, right? I'm a Pan-Africanist. You see what's going on in Guinea-Bissau? That is what exactly going to go on the African continent, especially if the leader in power, it is in protection of Western influence or Western foreign policy. And I'm telling you this. Now, and the opposition in power are favored by the people, and the people want to get the current government out of power. But the current government in power protects foreign interests or foreign policies and things. What's going to happen here? Why you saw in Guinea and why you saw in Gabon? That's the same way they're going to do it for for that same party to lead in power, so that Western influence can be protected. As we speak, do you know that even Guinea-Bissau, the opposition leader is in prison right now, is under the custody of the government. Now, I'm not against the fact that supporting on European Union and all of those things, but I will tell you this: the European Union, all of them, they are part and aware of the coup that happened in Gabon. The coup.
No, Prince. I don't want me to disagree. No, the problem with you're not put African problem with the West. No, I not African. Yeah. Okay, why did I overthrow in? Why did I overthrow in Europe? Why did I overthrow in Europe?
It's Africa. It's Africa. I can tell you this. Africa, we are not independent. And like I said,
no, we're independent.
Wait, I'm a Pan-Africanist. All right.
Pan-African dissolve. Pan-African dissolve long time. You don't bring that thing back. You're dreaming on your idea. That way back idea. Let me tell you something.
Let me finish my thoughts.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me finish my thought. I beg you, and I'll allow you comment. I think let me finish my thought. All right. People may think Pan-Africanism dissolve, right? But that's not a topic. Pan-Africanism does not dissolve. Pan-Africanism is what's going on in the AUS nation right now. All right? Without Pan-Africanism, the West does not love the term they call Pan-Africanism, and they will never work with Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism means total liberation and total involvement of African people, resources, and take control of themselves and ally with who they want to ally with. And I'm saying this again. I'm glad that you listened. You listened to Goodluck Jonathan interview that you had when you went back to Nigeria, right? I'm not going to go into it. I'm glad you listened to it and you saw what he said. The coup that happened in Guinea-Bissau, it was something planned. And he said the president that was how they call it, outcast, and now he's in Senegal, he came out to make announcement and then sending message to international partner. That's what he said. Sending message to international partner, sending message to international outlet that he had been overthrown. And then he said, which government do that? But I tell me, you have been overthrown, and then you are the one sending information that you have been overthrown. Now the cool leader who came out, and then he said he urged AU, right? Now he said, I'm not asking the military government to leave, but I urge AU to go and make sure to count a ballot box and announce the winner, right? Now, and for me, and I will tell you this, AU is in a pocket of the West. AU does not solve African problem. Now, what am I saying this for? It is the same AU that when this thing happened in Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, the people fighting for their right, after decades since the 1960s, of France getting a uranium and thing when they decided to take their uranium to show who they want to make business with, and France not going against them. It was the same AU that want to put tension on the people. Now, I agree they came out to say, oh, they were military, but are those the only military people that have taken a coup in Africa? But this time, AU was so drastic, and we know what AU force is coming from. AU force are coming from the West. We do research on all of these things. They got from the West. So people
And
control
Frank,
you, you control you. But I mean, come on, we may be
Frank, let
have
me
different
come in.
ideas.
Before
We may have
we
different
digress,
ideas, right?
before we come back to let's come back to our topic. Let Prince
Yeah,
come back
let's
because
come back to our
probably
topic.
we're knowing the whole thing. Let me tell you something quick before we end. Let Prince come back and he can flow. Let me tell you. You see what happened in Guinea? No Western involving our story, the African own mentality. You start blaming the West. Since what they were blaming the West, blaming every failure of the African continents are West than the West. You'll get all the greatest research. I'm not going into that detail. It's a topic for another day. Let me see what happened in Guinea. You know where's Dumouya? I live in the West here with Dumouya. Dumouya from France. You were in the French army, or you can call it gendarmerie, whatsoever. He's a radical guy. When Conte was ruling Guinea, he was 80 plus years old. The opposition was leading Guinea. Conte knew, according to the opinion poll, Conte knew that he couldn't hold on to power. He had health issue. So he came from the Mandingo tribe. And the fuller opposition was leading in Guinea. Then when they were protesting massively, what Conte do? He called Dumouya from France. True story. He called Dumouya from France. Dumouya came to Guinea to quiet down all the protests in the country. He and his surrogate, they quiet down all, as go to take. He cried down all ruthless. He cried down all the protests. What happened? Time for election. Prior to election, they plan of fake coup or sorry with Dumouya. I had the overthrow Conti, put Conti in exile. Dumouya take the state. He had a junta rule. He drove Conti to exile after a few months. Where is Conti now? Conti is living. So I'm afraid. I am afraid. Not me. That my predation, my political predation. I said that facts. I just go be a hell on everybody. See me nothing Fuller is the chief of staff. I told people here before. They play was emotion long time. But the former chief of staff on George Weah, Prince Johnson was the NSA boss today. He got an audio. He told the Liberian people when George Weah was in Qatar, you can still remember that people from the opposition bloc or some people calling for him to overthrow the government because George Weah was in all of the country for 30 some odd days. But he never implemented that coup plot because Zanga was the defense minister at that time. Who is Zanga now? Zanga was in the government. Who is Prince Johnson? You have to look at the writing on the wall. Where is Prince Johnson now? The NSA boss. Who the EPS boss? Gay. Who the police director? The whole security apparatus is under the Unity Party wing. So in the legislature, they see the particular plane. It can happen. I'm predicting. That's my prediction.
We're not saying not going to happen, but my point here is right. If it happens, it's going to be bloody. It's not going.
It will happen. Nothing. If it happen, they will only prolong 2029 because they want for George Weah to come to power.
Thank you.
That's the only obstacle.
Look,
because they know Jeremiah, you cannot win George Weah. That praise coming.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You know, that praise coming.
I can tell you that. I'm not saying it's not going to happen.
There are several.
It's not going to end as Guinea guitar.
There are several. There are several things that you know that are happening that is of concern. For me, what I think, in my view, Liberians have crossed the stage where an individual or a government will be able to turn our arms to listening or to be, let's say, controlled by a particular system. You know, we overlook these things, but let me say this. Every day when we come here, we talk, whether with one person, two person, or just personal interaction, we are educating our people. The way our people look at government now is completely different from the way they used to look at it some 40 years ago, some 50 years ago. Take for an example. Sometimes take your time. Sit by the social media, listening to the various talk shows. Just do a kind of catalog of people who are calling. Some of the people who are calling and discussing issues, they were not the usual people who used to call. Some of the people who are calling, with no disrespect to them, but some of them are not some of the educated elites that you know of, that yesterday used to call and discuss issue and blah, blah, blah. Now, you see, even people in the age of 70, I mean, elderly people who are not Western education, they don't have it. They are now calling and speaking to the issue. When you enter villages and you enter towns, you will see that people are discussing politics on a hardcore level that you will not believe. I'm telling you, on a hardcore level. Liberians may look like they are afraid, they are sycophant, but we are not fools. We know when to strike. Liberians are people who give people opportunity. That's why I always tell people, I say, look, if even in the next world, if I am to be given birth to, I will want to come back in Liberia. Because Liberians are the people who can give people opportunity. They don't deny you. Even if they see you committing a crime, they will give you that opportunity to prove whether you have truly repented or whether you regretted what you did in the past. And I give you a few examples, right? I give you a few examples. We saw Joseph Numa Boeka. I will start from Joseph Numa Boeka. Joseph Numa Boeka told the Liberian people that they squander all of the opportunity. He told the Liberian people that his government was responsible for why Liberia is underdeveloped. He told the Liberian people that his government that he served in 12 years was the reason why Liberians don't have job opportunity. He told the Liberian people the government that he served in for 12 years and received all of the international support, that they were the reason why there were no infrastructure development, that all of the sector broke down. He said it. Joseph Numa Boeka told the Liberian people that he was an old car park, even though this man was being paid by the Liberian people resources. The people are giving him money. He was being paid. But he told us that he was an old car. He was parked. It was a race car park. Sorry, a race car. With all of the things that Boeka did, to the extent Boeka records is very clear. The man worked with famous Claudius Sawyer the late. Imagine wartime government. The men squander resources. Wartime government, where everybody just doing their own thing. Amos Sawyer had to sack him and say, "You're not fit to be here." Water, where there is no correct system, everybody just doing their own thing. Jump or do that, entering the town. Amos Claudius Sawyer sacked this man. This man worked with President Doe. President Doe sacked this man. All the records are there. Look, this man have a consistent record of failure. Joseph Numa Boeka. Joseph Numa Boeka a consistent record of no achievement. We all learn all of these things. But guess what? Some of the Liberian people said that Boeka we will give power to. And today we're seeing the mess that we are into. Look at Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who told us, we knew that Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was involved in bringing war to Liberia. Sponsor Charles Taylor. Rebel groups around the place. Their hand were in the different rebel groups there. At the end of the day, what happened? The Liberian people said that Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, we won. And we know what happened. The records are just countless records. Look, even in the house, the late Prince Johnson, with all of the atrocity that he committed, even against some of his own people, some Nibanians. Look, in Liberia, during the war, we're not baby. We know what we're talking about. Some of the people who really unalive some Nibanians. Do you know Nibanians themselves during the war? They were unaliving their own people. They were deleting the breaker of their own people. I'm telling you something that I know of. When you hear, I say, oh yeah, for example, they will use another Guillaume man to go delete a breaker. Now what
Yeah,
they were doing.
they kill Moses Topu. The same people
That's
killed
what
that
they were doing.
Uber.
I mean, I will not even call him, but that's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. We
Yeah.
saw that. Their own people, they were on alive in their own people. You know the kind of atrocity Prince Johnson committed in a particular Nimba County before fleeing? Not everything we can talk. God, position, condition, and this, plenty different stuff and other things. But at the end of the day, what happened? Prince Johnson knocked his chest and said he was the godfather of Nimba with all of the atrocity that these people committed. Look in the house. Some of these people are real criminals and they were elected as lawmakers. For example, look at Darius DeLong.
Like violent
What
people.
what can you count of Darius DeLong? What contribution has Darius DeLong made to the Liberian society? Even when he was not a lawmaker, what was his contribution? Go and talk, go and insult, go and lambast, go and criticize, and the people made him lawmaker. Today, what is happening? Darius DeLong will use the same spirit. You can't top there will be like this, that nothing will happen. So Liberians are people who give people opportunity in this country that we find ourselves in America. If I mess up one time, my life finish.
Mm-hmm.
If I mess up one time, just one, me working for Liberia, I mess up one time, my life finish. I just need some kind of small thing to just go on my record. I finish. I
You'll
finish.
never
There are
win
some areas I will not even go to. There are some jobs that I will not even get. I can't get it. I can't get it. They will like you always use the word, and I will take the word. They will blackball me in this system. They will
Mm-hmm.
blackball me in this system. I'm not going nowhere. Even here in this country, the people, their own people, there are certain people that they have blackball to the
Yeah.
extent they're going nowhere. They are
Mm-hmm.
just floating. Nowhere they're going. You go up, you go yet. You can you have certain record behind you, forget it, you finish. I don't care what you do, you will be done. But Liberia, be a criminal, be whoever, the people will still give you opportunity. But that is just by the way. But let me come to this. President Weah is in Washington, D.C. to attend this FIFA program. I know it's strictly about FIFA, but there is something I want to educate our people on. You see, and let me display the picture here while we are talking. I want to display this photo while we are talking. Let me display this photo. I want you to look at this photo, my people. I want you to look at this photo.
I respect.
I want you to look at this photo. This is President Weah with Paul Kagame at the FIFA, I think, some kind of opening ceremony for the World Cup
Yeah,
or
I
the
think that was
World.
a draw. I think that was a draw or so.
Okay,
Yeah, the draw.
for the draw for the World Cup. Let me tell you why these meetings are very important. You know, when I was coming up, sometimes I hear they say, "Oh, they're having this program," and they charge people, for example, $30 for VIP. Or maybe let's just agree, let's just assume that they say VIP, you will be paying $200.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
on the other ordinary side, you'll be paying $100. The other side, you can pay $25. And I will see that the VIP ticket will finish quick, 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 quick. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
When and now the singing you watching when you on a VIP, you don't watch the singing. The person that on the stadium win around the fee. Now the scene watching we watching.
Mm-hmm.
But as I get older, I get to realize something. The people are not really paying for that name. They are paying for the connections.
Yes, exactly.
When you attend the VIP section, the kind of people that you have there, you negotiate, you interact with them, you make friends, you have connections. You see gurus that the place gurus will go to sit down.
Yes.
That the place people who are highly influential, who can make things to happen, at the place they sit down. That the place you see billionaires, millionaires. That the place people are having meetings, I mean serious meetings at that particular location. Serious meeting. At that particular location, that VIP location, plenty thing can be going on there. The way you see people exchanging cards, people are building relationship. So then I get to realize, say, oh, I see what the people can say. VIP session, the people will pay $500. They enjoy the comfort of that place because when you are in that comfort zone, you can walk up to somebody. The first thing is, once you're to that place, the people trust you. They know
Yeah.
that you're not any kind of ordinary person. So, for example, when in a VIP section, I'm paying something like $3,000. I can walk to my man friend, some kind of business type. I say, oh, how are you, Chief? Yeah, but, oh, I am Prince Sharif. What may be your name? Oh, I am so and so person. Oh, nice meeting you. You know, you have the time to sit, to move freely and talk to people and get that connection. So I got to observe that people were paying for the kind of connections. So now you say, oh, they're having a ball or they're having a dinner somewhere. And this dinner, the people that are going there, they will be paying 500,000. Say, what? What kind of 500,000 just because I want to go watch it? They can say that to my home, I go watch it. But the people are paying for that connection. They are connecting themselves. I am saying this to mean President Weah is in Washington attending this FIFA program. This FIFA program is not just an ordinary program. We may say FIFA, that football, but it's not ordinary. In that particular program, you have millionaires who are investors in different companies. They are down there. All the people that you see down there, all of them are investors. All of these football players, you know how they put their money, they get shares in these big companies. Some of you
Exactly.
don't even know.
Yes.
Let me tell you this.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
of the people that you see standing down there, they get huge shares. Some of them get about 25% share. Some of them get 10%. Some of them get 20%. Some of them get 50%. Some of them are board members of influential companies that are able to provide job. Some of these people have great influence over huge investment that can change a country economy, that can be able to impact people's life. Are the people then you see down there. So, you know, before the 2000, those stars that you saw maybe in the early 1900s, do you know that most of them, they did not get nothing, all of their investment, their hard work? It was just the name. For example, maybe in the 1950s, people who were just take for example, people who were the world best or people who were world heavyweight champion or so, most of them, they did not really make good use of their money because the idea was not there. As compared to these children that we have in now, when they children playing small football, they want to invest their money. They want to put their money into some kind of investment. Even they get lay 1,000, they want to put their money into lay investment. So the generation now of whether you will call it celebrity or however you will call it, they are smart. They are thinking. They are not thinking like their grandfather then. Get the money, use it, back out, this, that. The people are investing the money. So at the end of the day, even if they do not have the opportunity to be, for example, on the football field or to be boxing or to be wrestling, they will sit down and their life will be okay because their money is invested. They get money, they get companies around. Some of them, their names are not even there. They put people there. I'm saying this to mean, my people, this is a great thing that is going on. And not everything we can say here behind the scene. President, we are meeting with investors. He meeting with people who can be able to pull the strings. He meeting with people who can make things happen. These are not ordinary people you are looking at. And Babati people then go down there. These are people that get serious. Serious shares. These are people that get serious influence that can make things to happen. Take for an example, look at President Weah and Paul Kagame. What he down there for? You think that politics he there for? In our mind, not there for politics. But you know what they're talking. You know the connection that they're building. You know the connection that they're building. Oh yeah, Mr. Weah. Oh yeah. Oh, President Kagame, how are you? Fine. They talk. Oh yeah. Oh, how's the country doing? How's the nation? Oh, I'm following. Things are doing fine in Liberia, or things. Oh, these people talk. People, and not everything we can talk. These people talk. Look, do you know that at some of these gatherings, it's where serious political. Look, sport. I know we say void of politics, but when people go to this gathering, while it is true it will not be open, but there are plenty other things they go there for. You think Paul Kagame go there because he want to go there? You think because he want to go there? He go there for a reason. People go to this place to have connections. Who you know, our people have this saying. They say, what you know, they say, who you know can bring you here. What you know will keep you going. That's what they say. But in this world that we live in this present world that we live in, my people, who you know, it can make you to stay there. Who you know, it can make you to stay there. These people, they are building, before you come in, these people are building relationship. These people are building personal bond. They are interacting. They are talking about their country. They are talking about progress. They are talking about different things. While you get Bueka, he passing around, he say tomorrow they're going for December 6th. These are kind of conferences that people that Bueka, if he claim that he know people, he get influence. These are some of the conferences that you go to. Because the people, after the whole event, they will have personal interaction. After this whole event, everybody will go to their hotel. Everybody will go to their hotel. Then people start visiting each other. Your main friend go to a hotel, Jake go to a hotel. I want to go to a hotel now. That one are different to go into. And football be not going to, because we're not in the football hall. We go into all of different things. Yeah, Jake coming.
We are bringing boss. So what you say here probably because we'll soon be almost leaving it almost our time. You see the relationship here. Let me tell followers here. Rwanda not qualify for the World Cup. Labroin qualify for the World Cup. But let me remind the followers that probably they will see it later on. You remember last when Biden was ruling, Joe Biden, Ruto, the Kenyan president, he had a state visit. We discussed it before. You remember?
Sure.
Where Ruto had a state visit. You know what happened in the scene Washington here? And when I say nothing happening for the people to start to respect me now. There's a particular president. You know what the transaction here for? It's a picture scheme, thousands of words.
Sure.
The president, the whole world know that the president coming back. The whole world know that intention he get. Paul Kagame been ruling Rwanda for how many years? Decades upon decades. He been ruling Rwanda. This is the men that set Africa on a different path that relinquished power while they were counting vote to the opposition leader. It never happened. 17,000 votes. He barely had a relationship to prepare himself for the second term. You know why Ruto? The whole Washington DC. Ruto, you also hear Ruto walk away with $1.some billion. While our president, with that connection they say they have, the whole we in Washington, we control Washington, have Vlad. You already ruling the country. You president of the country. What you dream of party coming out to be a party headquarters? That your cup of tea as an 80 years old man for you to lead legacy on the to lead la brain legacy. I just trying to say, look at Ruto they walking, Paul Kagame and there to look for money because you say it have been delayed. All billions of dollars, you say the guys came back. They came to settle with the Trump administration, with other institutions, how to get different aids to put into the medical institution,
just
to different places.
Do you know, fellows, do you know that President Trump is a serious sport lover?
Yes.
A serious sport lover? Yeah, go ahead, my brother. I just thought to put this in.
So before friend coming, you close great. He building relationship. Not only Paul Kagame, you see other photos coming. As you said, the new Lalo investor today. The whole Washington is packed. President from different country, Mexican president, people from Angola, different country. They not only come to the FIFA team, they came to build relationship. They came to build contact. When I think about Joe is a dollar in the West, you're thinking a joke. It's not a joke. So to build our country, we need the only thing we ask the president of the Republic of Liberia, the Unity Party. You're the president, how real unification. Bring all opposition. You're not gonna be friend with the president. What rule of law in order? You already. Your days are numbers. Reality. We get grandparents then. Say your legacy. Forget about cracking down on opposition because it will not work with Trump. Because Trump was one witch hunted by the Democrat. They almost assassinated him. All these things. So I don't tell people he hate all this kind of thing. So all the kind of damaging reports start going to the Western Wall and Washington. Nothing will happen for the United Party. It went to 2 years now, we're coming to 3 years in January. They need to bear breaches. They need to put aside the hatred for the president, because all embedded in our DNA. Nothing the United Party hate than George Weah. No, what they're not talking about communists, what they're not talking about other political leaders in the country. What is about this man? Now the sick man here now, the sick man will print that the sick man in Washington DC. So Frank can in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let me come in. Let put this right. It has been alleged. Democrats did not want how to call it, Trump. They did not want to assassinate Trump. Okay.
That woman you have
Definitely. Yeah, I'm begging you. That one is not debate. Let leave that.
Let's talk about Joe.
Yeah, so let me that clear here. Okay, now that move on. You see, folks, look, Liberia. You know, sometimes what is saying people, me, I'm not Christian, right? But I play this way. I believe the Bible though, so nobody will come and tell me, say, oh, no. I read the Bible and understand it more than these Christians. But the truth here is, right? What I want to say here is, you see, people always say, right, your disappointment can be a blessing. So, or every disappointment, right, always know that there's a blessing. The reason why that happened, right? You see what happened to President Weah, and this is for the Latino people. It is not still late. It's not still late, all right? It's not still late. But what happened in the 2023 election, I think it happened so that you can see the reality. Because at some point of time, I think you are blind when they told you say X, Y, Z, and some of you agreed to it because you couldn't see for yourself when everything that was going in the country, and when a man said to you, I did not do all these things they are accusing me for, to the extent he put it in music so that you can play it over and over and listen, but you never got it. You went and voted against him because you thought a 90-year-old man was coming to fight, okay, for a new generation. A 90-year-old man did not fight for that old generation that was there. But you think he was coming to fight for this new generation. And you went against a man of this generation who was coming to do something for you. But now, that's not my point. But let's go here. So, when we are talking about opposition, you do not expect, as Wemo said, you do not expect, okay, the former president to leave his duty. He's not president of Liberia. All right, he respects the democracy of Liberia. That is why he left it, gave it to you people. He left it, and he said this once before. If it is not for the love of country, if it is not because of the love of country and I love my people, I wouldn't have come here to say I want to get into politics. If you guys were doing the right thing, if the politician, he said I am not a politician, and he said if the politician did the right thing for this country, build this country, improve this country, build a human capacity, I was never ever going to come to say I want to get into politics. But because of what they've been doing, that's why I came to get into politics to change. If not, right, if they have done the right thing, after I retired from playing soccer, I was going to get a job with FIFA. He made that clear. I was going to get a job with FIFA and work with FIFA and still make my money. But you see, you said this man was not a presidential material, or he was not a leadership material. You left him, and the war went and picked him. The entire globe went and picked him up. Now he's leading the war. I mean, just one tiny country. You said this man couldn't lead the country. Now the war went and picked this man. He is a leader of the war that is controlling millions of budget. This man. Now, let me say this. You see what Prince says, right? And they lay it down firm. Paul Kagame, President Paul Kagame, is not a soccer player. Like Wemo said, Rwanda did not qualify. But why is this man in there? You see, there is something called export, right? When you're having a job, People go there to go see and whatsoever and thing. You see, what went on here is FIFA export. There are different head of state and different government officials in here. And I can tell you, the biggest mistake Bucket ever done or did was to make an enemyship with President George Manneh Weah, and then went and broke their party headquarters, and then running against CDC and making sure you want to dissolve CDC. That was the biggest mistake you ever did. Now, you see Paul Kagame standing over there, you think it was just a friendship to say, oh, I mean, you are once a president, right? You are a former president. No, the truth here is President George Manneh Weah know a lot of influential people in there. So Paul Kagame is actually making connection. Despite Paul Kagame was also in Washington, D.C. to meet President Donald Trump, because Paul Kagame and the DRC Congo president had a deal with President Donald Trump. So Paul Kagame was there as well for that. But what I want to tell you in here is that while he did that with Donald Trump, he's also making other connection with President George Manneh Weah here to even connect him with other either sporting activities or so, whosoever in there, that when Paul Kagame leaving, he will carry on a lot of things back home. Not just what he got for President Trump, but what he was also get in terms of sporting and connection for his country. So he knows that President George Manneh Weah is an icon. He knows that President George Manneh Weah know people in there. President George Manneh Weah could even connect him to the FIFA president for this to go on in Rwanda. But here is our only leader. Whole day. Now, in fact, when things happen in Liberia, even if the common citizens, even if the UP partisans who are carrying on their frustration about this failed government, they will say that citizen, or that these are CDC people. So almost every Liberian in Liberia, they are citizen. Once you speak in Liberia, you talk about the government failure or the government, they will say, oh, that's citizen. So everybody in the country is a citizen. So the people that have voted for you yesterday, they are angry about your mismanagement. And when they come out to voice out their concern, then you say they are sedition. So that means because they are sedition, you are not going to do anything for the people in the country, because at the end of the day, they are sedition, yes, but you are the leader, you are the president for the Republic of Liberia. So you are answerable whether to CDCN or to UP or to ANC, to whatsoever political party in the country. You are answerable to everybody. So again, but this government failed to realize that. And you went against a man who is very influential, a man who can assist your government, a man who can open an avenue for your government. Because I can tell you, every avenue President George Manneh Weah is doing over there, he's doing it to keep it. When Liberian people see the need or necessary to bring him back, then he open it. But the truth here is, that lady, that general that asked President, how to call it, that asked Buakat when he came from Nigeria, that question about the relationship between you and the former president, and the way he was so arrogant to answer the journalist, and when he answered it and then he just walked away, he did not think towards that this question that this journalist is asking me is necessary. I think it is time to get back right and do the right thing, because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It is not about my cabinet member. It is not about my government official. It is about the Liberian people, to make sure they get every necessary benefit as a government that need to provide it for them. But that president or that government has failed. And that's the biggest mistake they ever did, to go against President George Manneh Weah.
Thank you. Brother Jake, let's hear from you, sir. I'm going to be here for a while, but let's hear from you so that, I know we all got to retire.
No, yeah, you go ahead with wrapping on now. So I just said to the follow up once again, respect to your salute. You always share the video, Let me remind the followers. Three, that's why I say, where all the thousands of God, especially the great analysis of America, when they were on social media, bombarding George Weah. All we pledge and listen to the country. We all get political affiliation. Why now social media empty? Why now we don't see thousands of podcasts anymore? Your players are listening to your country. And the question I ask the Liberian people, the reality, are you people better off now than George Weah than George Weah time? They not do the math. Reality. 2 years into the Boyka presidency. 2 years now. Are you people better off now than George Weah time? Because they smear the government. All the propaganda machinery, they were all over the internet. Where are they now? Where the Henry Costa they when we were vibing for the Liberian people, they the hero. They were talking about the Liberian people against George Weah. George Weah being condominium. He doing this, he doing that, he doing that. Why you're not talking about the $10 million mansion? All these guys in the executive branch of government, they aim on to it. They see guys, they burying their own horses too, massive horses in the night. The Eugene Falcon, all these people too. They burying property upon property, that ministers and too. All boiled to principle, all jealousy, embedded in their DNA because they have incorporated a lot of youthful people from the trenches, from the slum, and made them who they are today, like the lack of the Jefferson coaching, the Arvin, we say all these guys with beautiful female. So they were jealous, but they're doing the same thing. What thing changed now? 2 years. We have heavy inflation in the country. Unpopular in the country. Now, in that popular, the pooling water is on water. They hijacked the budget for $1.2 billion. 1.2 billion. What in the budget for us? What in the budget for the common Liberian people? Your hospital ruined. No fair project for the Unity Party. No signature project. Nothing. What going on in the country? Inflation. Nothing. President have travel, nothing happening. He just visited in Imo State in Nigeria. You not go see the Nigerian president, but you go see Imo governor. What sense does that make? It's the federal government. You see the Imo State governor will never relate to the federal government. You will just bring investment in Liberia. You think how it work? You think how Nigerian politics work? It passed through the federal government. He's a governor. What your mission there? And the last question I want to ask. They used to be disturbing George Weah invading property. This is a question that nobody asking. Pray, I want you to answer it before you close too. The building they had a cabinet meeting in Bumi County. That horse. Who the horse for? That horse when they had the cabinet meeting. That horse was there before Boyka came to power, or like property he built in less than 2 years. That's a real hard question. The horse they had that cabinet meeting in Bumi. Who that horse belong to? That Liberian government building out there long time too early on George Weah. He said it's a retreat.
I think that's a city hall, right? It's on the city hall.
That a city hall or what?
I think I need to find. I think it should be this. I think it's a city hall or some kind of guest house.
Okay, I want to be the city hall.
I think is it a city hall that when they put the United Party flag in front of it?
Okay, I just asked a hard question now because
I will find out. I will find out.
They were asking hard question that Joe being condominium all over the place. He married to Jackie Appiah.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think that city hall was built. If I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong. I think it was built by President George Manuel. It was not built by them. It was not built by this 2-year United Party government.
To conclude from my end, fellow Liberians, it is becoming very clear and clearer every day that Joseph Numa Boyka will do nothing to alleviate the suffering of our people.
Wow.
Boyka is on a speed to ensure that his retirement package is huge, is lofty, and is okay for himself and his family. The reason for which I'm saying these things is every day we continue to see an insult from the Boyka regime towards the International People Initiative. You see, I will show you another picture that's really damaging. Pictures speak thousands of words. When the international people give you their money and you use that money to put it on an infrastructure or whatever it is, their eyes are also on that particular property, how you will maintain it,
Yes.
how you will cater to it. Because that's their money. They suffer for it and give it to you. The way you will cater to that property will tell them whether you are deserving of receiving any blessing from them in the near future.
Hmm.
When they go to their meetings of other world leaders, they will cite your bad example to
Yes.
other leaders, and at the end of the day, you may not receive the help. It's like, take for an example, you in this particular gathering with so many people, and somebody gave you their information. Say, my man, this is what happening to me, but don't tell anybody. The person that you are telling, is possible that that person has another friend. Will go and say, my man, I'm telling you this thing. Don't tell the other person. Don't tell anybody. The other person will go and say, my man, before you get to know, everybody know about that particular thing. And you will be in
Yeah.
the circle, or you think that you told one person and your information is safe. Now, no. Everybody looking at you now, they know already who you are, what the information is. I'm saying this to me, and I will display this picture for us. I want us to look at this picture, my people. I want you to look at this picture. You see this picture here?
For our hospital,
This is
Emery
the
Hospital.
picture of the Emory Hospital.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah, yeah.
particular Emory Hospital is not just the name, Emory. No, it's not just the name. This particular Emory Hospital, it has to do with the resources of the people of the UAE. It has to do with their hard-earned money that they suffer for and gave to the people of Liberia. And they say government are continuity. It's government are continuity. The money that the people took and gave it to Liberia and say, President Weah, we know President Weah made the case for the health sector and say, hey, my people, it's not easy in my country. The health sector is too bad. My people suffering. Y'all get good thing, you're begging you. Y'all please help me. The people look at their hard-earned money and say, we will give you our money so that you can build a health facility to cater to your own people. Remember, whether we like it or not, their hospital, even though it is built in Liberia, but it is for the people of the UAE. In other words, they are the one having it is their project. When this hospital is making name in Liberia, they will be proud. They will knock their chest and say, "This is
Yeah.
where our money going." But look at how Joseph Newman Boyka is treating these people money. Look at how he's treating their money, and you expect these people to take their money and give it to Joseph Newman Boyka when they just gave you the first money for you to build hospital, take money and say, President, we are building hospital. Thank God that President, we are building the hospital. We saw the hospital. We saw all of the facility inside. The people even sent representative down. I think one of the prince, right? One of the
Yeah, for
prince
the
came down.
dedication, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the prince came down for that
Yeah.
particular program. They came down for that program. So this is to tell you how dear this program is to the people of UAE because they are proud. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first program, this is the first project that the UAE has ever put down in terms of infrastructure. I stand to be corrected. But as far as I'm concerned, this is the first project, physical project that the UAE has been able to sponsor in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who know the Sunny very well, I ain't check it up, but I'm very sure that this is the first UAE project in Liberia. I don't know of other projects. I don't know of anywhere where I can say, yeah, the UAE, for example, they build this particular school, or they build this hospital, or they build this. This is the first that I know of their investment. Maybe they have been giving money for other things, yes. But for this physical infrastructure, to
Mm-hmm.
say, yo, we put our money in physical infrastructure, let it be on the ground, to say that the people of UAE, this is the first that I have seen. This is the first that I've seen. And they gave you that money. Is this how you treat the people money? Is this how you treat the people money? So the people are looking at this picture and saying, what? Our hard-earned money that we gave to President Weah. President Weah was able to build the hospital. Thank God the hospital that we went there, we saw it. That the hospital here, that hospital here that we spent millions of dollars on that 8 years so the people can't even take grass from in front of it. Then you expect Breaker to get money, you expect Breaker to succeed. You expect him to succeed? You think when the prince who is watching us right now on this show, people who are connected to him watching this show, and they will carry to him when they see that kind of picture, what they will say about Liberia? They will say, wow, is this how wicked this man is? You think the people in witness Joseph Newman Brecker breaking down the CDC headquarters?
Mm-hmm.
They saw it. So to the extent that even a project that is for the people of UAE that they gave to Liberia, you are handling it like this. You think you will go somewhere you get money? You did look at you get that money. You know how many person talking about this now? You know how many person sharing it? You know how many person following us that we are not even seeing them, my people? You know how many person following us that we are not even seeing them? We have no idea where they are. Where they are. We got no idea where some people watching from. We get people who are watching from different parts of the world. Different parts of the world. You may see a number, maybe 30, the other thing. But do you know how many persons watching? Do you know how many persons sharing? Do you know the chat rooms that they are sharing to? And the people looking at this, their project. You know what it means? It's an insult. Almost like telling the international partner, get off from here. Your money is of no use. Look at the PHP pack. The last time we show you picture of the PHP pack. That people money in that PHP pack. Investor, other country, they put their money. Look at the invisible pack and etc. So Brecker have deliberately choosing that all of the projects that President we are initiated, that he will destroy it. And thank God that this money, they are from other countries that give it to us. So they are watching. Yeah, they are watching Joseph Newman Brecker. They will clap for you. You will go to that country. When you leave the building that is supposed to cater to your own people that they build and turn it over to you and say, it's for you. Use the building to cater to your own people. Leave it in rain. Let it be dirty. Destroy it. And see whether if you go to other country, whether you will get help. Because like we said, these people, they are intertwined. They meet
But
and they
Prince,
discuss.
I'm continuing. Prince, you remember he visited the St. Emery Hospital? The Brecker visited the Emery Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
It baffled me, oh. It baffled me. They
And
want
inside is even terrible than the OSA.
Yeah,
You know that.
terrible.
Oh, I saw the
It's
video.
nasty.
Oh no, man, but I
The
saw the
people
thing. I said,
Okay,
what?
Premier has a hard question to you. Where is the man that was counting data that from Popolu? Where Amara Kone? Amara
I know,
Kone
right?
district.
It's
Listen,
very serious. You're right.
They were the guy that were lying when they stole the election. They were lying. They said they had data room. They were crying out crocodile tears. While McCarthy there, the NEC board were finished stealing the election. Then he cried with that data. Where's Amara
Oh,
Kone?
you are right. You are right, my brother. You
Where
are right.
is the Senator Amara Kone? Why he not flagging? They hospital cater to a lot of counties within that area.
Yeah.
Where is Amara Kone? Senator Amara Kone? How will you sit down, Waka, destroy your country legacy? Leave George Weah, go and continue. You're not doing nothing to George Weah. You're not pinning George Weah. You're pinning the people from that particular district. Where's Amara Kone? Where is the people from Bopolu? Where are the people from that particular area? Where is the senator? Why are you not speaking? You write letter. You write a lot of nonsense there. Right in your backyard. The president is shitting, the whole government, the United Party that you brought into power, as you said, they're shitting on your county. Why they all rage? Why they all rage from the people, from the county people, the county executive? Why they all rage? You're not bearing Joria legacy. Joria get over $200 million budget. FIFA was $6 billion naive Liberian people. You think you're gonna shake Joria? He's son playing football right near me. He's a multi-millionaire. He gets so I want to even go inside before I start insulting someone there.
You see, the thing about a woman, right? Let me say this. You see the reason why the United Party trying to neglect that particular hospital is because that hospital was completed before they came in.
Oh yeah.
If to say that hospital was completed, right? If to say that hospital was completed under their administration, right? Then it was going to take credit for it to go in there to go delegate it. You can see that calculation. I'm telling you, every project of President Josh Weah that was all completed that is not completed under this government. This government is going in, taking credit for it, putting their name there, getting it. You see,
Wow.
that they will try to maintain it, but this particular project, there was a project that was already dedicated and completed, and that's why they neglected it. Because if not, if to say it was uncompleted and then only the administration then they finished it, they was going to go there to take care of it, to how they call it, to delegate it, and then put their name on it that development, budget, this. That's the reason why they neglected this project.
Let me ask you, Ochale, how much they place in the budget for healthcare in the whole Republic of Liberia? Because if they play huge millions of dollars in our $1.2 billion in budget, why they cannot take some of that money, the Ministry of the health, they cannot fit it, they cannot renovate that hospital or clean that hospital or whatsoever. Any machinery that lost, now what thing happened that the phone or not in good order, why they can repair or they bring used one? Well, how much they put in the budget for healthcare service? 5 million plus Liberian.
You laugh. The president budget is more than the healthcare
it's, I think
budget.
$14 million, right? I think it's $14 million, the healthcare budget. Yeah, I think it should be 14. Let me just check it out, but it should be somewhere around 14 million.
Yeah, but then 14 million. Then they cannot repair that hospital. They can use $1 million because that job
let's do this clear. That hospital does not need repair. It just need maintenance. It's a like cleaning, making sure they're not using it. That's why. Because if the building is there and you're not using it, why it will happen? It's a building that Himo is not able to to try to what they call it, clean it up and things. So what they call, but they're not using it. So that's why they neglect it. It's not like they need repair to say things broken, things damaged and things, because it's not being used, abandoned. And that's why you see it like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's this is a hard question I'll ask you and friend before we close. Now the redemption, one of the landmark hospital, the Redemption Hospital, that even they need to complete the redemption that will be more than the JFK. And because the JFK is old, dated over 50 plus years now. So what can 14 million do to bring body machinery, laboratory, all the top things into that Redemption Hospital? What can it do? So what they will let the Redemption Hospital not finish?
No, but you see the thing about it, the Redemption Hospital will finish because the funds was already there. It's not like the funds coming from this government. The fund was already provided, already there. So now, in fact, the Redemption Hospital, right, because it was unfinished, it is going to be finished under this government. Now the government is taking credit of it.
No, they can't take credit for that one now.
No, that's what they're doing. They are taking credit. And I tell you, the reason why they abandoned this Emerald Hospital, because this Emerald Hospital was finished and dedicated before they came in. That's why they abandoned it. But you see the Redemption Hospital, that is almost to finish. They are taking credit of it. In fact, they are done. This government is doing great. This is the government we want.
Look at the People Hospital.
I'm telling you.
You know this thing, my brother. We are saying this thing, but it's very serious. You know, it's very serious.
Yeah, they are taking credit of the Redemption Hospital. Yeah, they are.
Look at the hospital. Why we
Prince, I know the PU
to maintain. No, but you know, my brother, the hospital in our area, where in the Western area, and most of our people, my brother, the thing is really painful, right? It's very painful.
Wow.
The hospital that you look at is not just a hospital that people will say is an ordinary hospital. You know, Grand Cape Man, bombing, Bapulu, people have suffered down there for too long for healthcare. To the extent that, do you know that people can leave from down there sometimes to even go to Sierra Leone? For healthcare business.
The neighboring country, even Saudi, are going to be coming here.
Some people can leave from, I'm telling you, people can leave from Cape Town to sometimes go to Sierra Leone. People can leave from Bomi to sometimes go to Sierra Leone. Imagine people driving that distance. Let's take Sierra Leone out of it and coming to, how you call the place, to JFK, my brother. Some of them even died on the road. Pregnant women. So that hospital is not just an order. That is a legacy. That is original hub. They're taking care of 3.5 counties. that thing will be able to solve so many problems. Do you know why sometimes people don't even bring people, their family member to JFK? Because they are not even certain whether they will come there and they will even see data. They're not even sure where they come there, they will even see place to even lay down. But that hospital is right in their nose. You know, in the Leeward County, most of our people, they go to what you call alternative medicine because the healthcare, I mean, modern healthcare is not available around where they are. So they'll go to one man boil water and say, drink it. When you drink it, you'll be okay. Some of these common things that we can easily solve medically. When they go there, they have some of these complications because hospital is not around. They will go to some kind of medicine man.
Yeah,
The man go face some kind of medicine, you know, herbalist, face some kind of thing, and maybe it may not even be the right one. Before you go low, bam, something else happen. So to
but
have this kind of hospital, my brother, in that area,
yeah,
it
but
will
Prince,
have
Prince, I will call if the United Party cannot take out of the hospital, they inform the former president. He can bring because at the Emirates people, that the people for the Emirates, for especially Dubai, they put in massive millions of dollars there.
amen.
The president, the president, he said, the United Party, they want to abandon the structure. The president he know a UAE panel. He know the king already. He's a personal person to the king. He said, I paid the hospital, but the government won't lapse it. The government, they won't bury my legacy. So we can come and they can come and take out our hospital. They do it, then they bring expert, then they take the hospital from the government, then they make it private. That can cater to these people. Then the Arab people can come, they pressure because they good in medicine. They can come and take out of the hospital. They kind of legacy, Amara Kone, man, let the legacy to room in that kind of way. Disregard it. When I think they can hit the president to the core, that similar thing we see that today. That similar thing. We already suffering from health care. We have this serious health care problem with the poorest in the West African region. Then they, as he said, there's a hope for 3 counties and a half. Then the United Party, you not even get project, you get no signature project. Now you cannot get all these projects because it's a government continue. Now what they were making move in the corridor of the country. What they were lying.
Yeah.
You know?
All the project that was done and finished by the former president, they are all being abandoned. And then all the project that he started that did not finish, and then some of them are being finished under this government. It is those projects that this government is taking initiative of and then presenting it, taking credit of them.
You close it.
You know the PhD part that got completed. Then when they destroy part of the PhD part, then they say, I know the higher honor there for electricity or for pouring, just to destroy it.
You let close, yeah.
Look at, you know, before we close, I want to bring this video here for you to see the Emory Hospital, my brother.
Yeah,
Look at the hospital. That the hospital, the people lead daily a day. That the hospital breaker lead a day, my people. Look here.
Where the
look at the
newly
hospital.
constructed 100
Look at the
bedroom,
hospital.
Look at it.
100 bedroom
expected
hospital.
to be dedicated
Amen.
any moment from now. Of course,
look at the hospital.
Wow.
Public officials have already arrived here in observance of this event. Of course, now we
look at the place.
Look
at the place.
Like
look
to
at
say thanks for joining us. We just want to bring you what it looks like here
look at how you were looking, please.
Emirates Hospital.
Yeah.
But this are lame by hospital.
Amen. Amen.
So
we are dreaming.
And citizens are making their way in to the area where the event is being
to the
held.
extent that somebody was telling me, look, I get somebody there working, I can say almost like a family member or so.
To give you what it looks like from the
inside.
Said,
to the extent that he want to leave from there. He said because he can't see. He said anytime he entered that place, it brings tears to his eyes. To see a hospital that was built for the people and kept like that. He said to the extent that he said the Osa Ore, they dead that were looking at Osa, the Ore. He said when you enter inside, we cry. To the extent the bathroom, some of them not even working again. All of the maintenance officers that were there, they sack all. They can't pay them before I'm talking about sack. Because when somebody can pay, the automatic sacking ready. The man said the day that they say President Joseph Newman Boyka won the election, that was the end. Everybody that there, maintenance people, Wado, you can't even see anybody there. To the extent that the place when you go up, I know that video that they say, I don't know how you play up, but the place is too dirty inside. The place is too dirty.
Prince, I mean, if you have a play, I mean, that's what it's there for.
The place is too, look at the hospital that President we are left. Look at the hospital. Look at this hospital. Look at this hospital. Look at
My
the
name
hospital.
is Nawe Gume, and this is super random. Anthony.
Look at the hospital. Look.
So I mean, we are grateful. So coming here, yes, all of us go on the road coming here, but I think the important thing now is that we have this referral hospital here now, so the pressure will be on us as people of Nigeria, as government, so that we'll be able to pay attention on this side. So that even the road from here, we look at the road from here.
We'll continue another day with this story again.
Yeah, we gotta close, man. It's too sorry for my people. It's too pathetic to see the government of Joseph Nyuma Boyka, a man who is not even well, that's supposed to even be very, very attentive on the issue of health, to see abandoning this hospital. Look at the hospital.
Look at that people are looking beautiful. Damn it.
Imagine, look at the place that are looking. The place I just show you. Look at the place that are looking like. Because maintenance. Amen. Why would it take you to maintenance? Look at that place. People are saying are having a program with the light, everything. To the extent, why must the people eat? They're taking the light from what kind of wickedness is this? The light that they built were in our world. They're taking it from there.
Yeah, because no security. They don't want to pay the security. They won't pay the security. They abandon. Maybe all the machinery where they finish stealing on that machine. They finish stealing on that machine.
Man, the thing is too sorrowful, man. But anyway, my people, I want to say thanks to all of you for the time. We are ending on a very sad note with this hospital. But anyways, it is what it is. We want to say thanks to all of you for taking up the time. Until we meet here again, sometimes during the week, we want to say those of you who are just joining us and you are not following the page, please follow the page. It's under the Palava Hut. Until we meet again, my people, have yourself a God blessed day. And bye from our end.
Yeah, bye-bye.